Hello, everybody. Welcome to Armchair Expert. I am Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm joined by the miniature mouse, Monica Plaidman.
Hello.
Hello. And a medium-sized mouse.
I'm a medium-sized mouse?
Well, she's miniature
Thanks.
mouse, and you're...
I'll be medium mouse.
Of course.
Medium mommy mouse.
So today we have a really fun guest, Jake Johnson. You definitely know him from The New Girl and Let's Be Cops, and currently he's in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. A very funny and thoughtful young man that we had a real delight chatting with.
Yeah, I just want to warn our listeners, because I know everyone's very excited right now that Kristen is on this episode, and you're not. I just want to be clear.
I'm not here.
No.
You're not in the episode. You're just here for the moment.
You're
I'm
just
here.
hanging.
I came over to the attic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
To visit.
we have an important day because we have been working for 2 years.
Yes, it's a big day.
It's a big day in Team
Bell Shepherd. The Bell Shepherd verse.
The Bell Shepherd.
Universe.
Welcome to the Bell Shepherd verse. We've been working for 2 years on a line of baby products.
That's true. Premium baby
Premium
products.
baby products that are organic-ish.
Plant-based ingredients, avoiding chemicals of concern, the stuff we would use on our babies. And do, yes.
Yeah, I cleaned up some duty with one of our wipes today, and it went great.
Yeah, and
Your butt.
Oh, no. How dare you?
although it could handle the task, it's a good wipe.
I have them in my cabinet.
And are you cleaning yourself with them?
Yeah.
And how do you like it?
They're great.
No
Prove it.
rashes, right? Prove it.
No rashes so far that I can see. I can't really see back there, but
Well, again, we'll take over.
You know, because the products just came in. We just got
Yeah, literally
them all in.
today, they come out at Walmart. If you're by a Walmart, head in there, grab some wipes, keep them in your car.
It's called Hello Bello. I don't even know if we said that.
Hello Bello. It's a real cute name. It's got your name in it, which makes it even cuter. You know, you're in the car, you're pounding one of those rectangle sandwiches, you spill some mayonnaise on yourself. Grab
Wipe it
one of the
up.
Hello Bello wipes. You don't have to have a damn baby to do it.
No, wipe it up. We use them for everything. And we just got the products in, and the girls took a bath 2 nights ago, and they used, over the recommended limit, I believe, they used a half a bottle of bubble bath.
They sure did.
Wow.
Thank God it's such a good price point, because we are going to be going through this stuff quite a bit. Because you leave them unattended for a second, they pour the whole GD bottle in the tub.
That's right. They are not ethical consumers. Now listen, for real, they're a third cheaper than all of our competitors. Why? Because we went to Walmart, and economy of scale has allowed us to start at such a big volume that they're crazy affordable, and they're the best ones on the market.
That's true, because I'm really anal about ingredients, and
And your anus.
and my anus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you got kids or you spill a lot of rectangle sandwich sauce on your pants, swing by a Walmart and pick some up. Without further ado, Mr. Jake Johnson. We get support from Quince.
Have you been wearing the Quince linen shirts?
Yeah, I've been wearing them a suspicious amount. Yeah, European linen ones, they're $34, which is genuinely insane for how nice they are.
It doesn't even make sense.
Well, here's the deal. They work directly with the factories, cut out all the middlemen, so you're paying for the actual quality and not some brand's marketing budget. Everything's 50 to 80% less than comparable stuff. I love it because it's all very classic and traditional, and I know I'm going to be able to keep it for a very long time, and the quality's off the charts.
That's true. The style is very consistent. Whatever you get there, you walk down the street, you're going to look good. They have these lightweight cotton sweaters, which I love for when it cools down at night. It's a nice drape around your shoulders in the summer and then throw it on when it gets a little cool. And it's not just clothes. They do home stuff, ding, 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 travel stuff, everyday essentials. It's all the same model, quality without the markup.
Make your summer wardrobe easier. Go to quince.com/Dax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Dax for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Dax. This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place.
Let's talk bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, but it does not have to be that way.
With SoFi High Yield Checking and Savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit.
No account or overdraft fees, which feels rare these days. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, perfect for getting ahead of a bill or grabbing what you need right when you need it.
Plus, get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit. Sign up for SoFi checking and savings at SoFi.com/armchair. SoFi checking and savings is offered through SoFi Bank N.A. member FDIC. Terms apply.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
Jake Johnson, I do not say this lightly. Monica and I, and I'm sure Wobby Wob, although he doesn't say a lot, we're very excited that you're doing this.
Oh, thank you. I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, there's a little hub of like people who are super funny in our city that are just the best guests. Like I put you in a Nick Kroll category or an Ike Barinholtz,
Jason,
Manzukis, just, a super dependable, wonderful person with a...
Guys who should be utility players. And in this era, we can every once in a while sneak into a big part. And if I'm looking too much that way, it's just, okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
We've discovered
Okay.
it's hard on the guest's neck to look at Monica as much as their eyes want to.
Well, I want to, but I don't, and then it's this.
Don't feel pressure.
Okay.
I'll pipe in.
Okay, sorry.
I just got
You're not a rookie to this, and I'm telling you.
No,
Okay.
it's good. That's very kind of you to actually have said, like, this is awkward for me to be looking like that. We got to figure out a bit.
No, I just had a radical idea. I was trying to interrupt you guys.
Please.
I think if we turn this couch at a very bizarre angle, right? Like 40% this way, you'll kind of be in the middle.
Interesting.
I mean, it'd make the room look like shit. No, you would.
You're totally right.
Yes.
This.
True.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm going to be insane and stop right now. We're going to try it. You're going to be,
By the way,
this
I'll
is
do
going
the
to be.
other side of the couch.
This has never happened. And Wobby Wob will take a picture of it.
Here. Okay.
Oh, this is incredible.
I mean, yeah.
Why
let's
the hell
see
not?
what happens.
Why the hell not?
Oh, wow.
Then you cheat back here.
Oh my. Wow. Well, I can tell you right out of the gates, I'm already excited about my new proximity to Monica.
I like this too.
Wow.
Because I could see her, because I was also, I didn't, and the other thing is I hate not, when there, if you do a talk show and there's anybody here.
Yes.
I just did Corden last night, and I was talking to Corden, and Zach Levi was right here. He's a super nice guy.
Guy you'd love to give attention to.
Sweet guy. And I was telling a story, and then when I did the turn to him, totally threw my brain.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, because I was like, I'm going with Corden, and we're in a moment. And then I'm like, I haven't looked at Zach. That's rude. He's sitting on the couch, and I turn, and I'm like, shit. Now I got to find a punchline
I'm
to
lost.
like a soft story. It wasn't a good bit anyhow.
Right.
So then I'm like, and then that thing happened. You like soft laugh. The guy in the room is telling the crowd to cheer. And I'm like,
Right.
Zach, I'm not looking at you. One quick thing that's hilarious is that.
Yeah.
Walking in, that is like, there's the sign that says, "Would you date Dax?" It's a
Go ahead,
photo of you.
hit him with the results.
70.
Pretty definitive.
No. And that's a very nice freedom that you get in this business when you get to be in it for a few years, where you're like, oh, I don't have to read all that stuff anymore.
Yes.
I actually just did an interview earlier, and it was for IMDb, and the guy we were talking, and sweet guy, and then at one point he said, I was in a movie called The Mummy.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, like, I didn't like that one. And he goes, now you hate me. But he wasn't being rude.
Okay.
So I want to make this clear. And I was really happy to say, like, with all due respect, I don't care if you liked it or didn't like
that's
it.
great.
But like, no, I don't hate you for disliking it. It was a movie that I was in. I enjoyed making it. I loved the memories. I don't care if you like it or dislike it.
Yeah.
As long as I'm able to keep doing what I like to do,
Yeah.
your approval doesn't mean that much anymore.
great.
But you want people to like it, because
Of
then you get
course.
to, it's like gambling. I love playing poker, and if I lose all my chips, I don't get to keep playing.
Right.
So by people liking it, you get more chips.
Let me ask you this. Did you at one time have a Google alert for yourself?
No,
You never did?
I never did.
Oh my gosh, I feel like that's so healthy of you.
Yeah, maybe. I'm an angles guy. I like to think the different ways through things. And things like a Google alert, I don't know how that would be beneficial to me.
Well, I can tell you it's not at all.
Right.
I had one for, I don't know, maybe 2 years. Because I mean, in truth, I'm just a narcissist, and I want to know who's talking about me. But then with this little lie, I told myself like, I got to kind of know what the perception of me
what
is.
the thing is.
Yeah, so that I can maybe steer this perception. But the result is just...
It's just negative.
It's just negative.
Yeah.
I once read in a Malcolm Gladwell book, they talk about the power, the chemistry in your brain, the reward center gives you, say, oxytocin for finding a nice ripe piece of fruit. So you remember, always go to this tree. But if you were to eat something poisonous, the chemical your brain gives you is like 100 times stronger than the pleasure one.
Yes.
So I just started thinking, unless you're Tom Hanks and you're assured that 99% will be positive,
then don't even do it. Because so there's something that I started doing. I didn't start working as an actor until my late 20s, but I was acting a lot. I was doing sketch and improv all the time. And I had a 2-man show with a great friend of mine, a guy named Oliver Raleigh, who's now a musician. It was our heart and soul show. We had no business strategy, so we thought, well, we'll just perform at any theater that'll have us. And what that was like fringe festivals. So like the San Francisco Fringe Festival let us in. You know, we drove out to San Fran. We were so fired up. Somehow I was sure Scorsese would be there and say, you, the guy in the wig playing that character, you have it.
Yes.
Whatever that fantasy was, I was buying it.
Or Francis Ford Coppola. I mean, he's up there.
He's making his wine.
He's already there.
Me up, man. And so we do this show, and the show is fine. You know, it was what it was. But we were on the early message boards, 2002 type stuff. We read, and we took our comedy very seriously. And they said very sophomoric fart humor.
Oh boy.
And it hurt me. We were in a public library, and I honestly think I was crying.
Really?
I was like, I think I'm doing highbrow, thoughtful shit. You said I drove cross country. I have no money to do fart comedy. That was the devastation between my partner and I, Oliver, was so deep that like it was like a marriage that finds out it's not what we thought it was.
Right.
Later, we found in like a local newspaper that said of like the top 5 shows at that Fringe, we were one of them. It didn't feel like anything.
Because you had already...
Yes, but also, and this is probably a terrible realization of ego, but I believed in it. I thought we were the top 5. That's why I fucking went out there.
Yes,
But when they told me it was fart humor, that's what I was afraid of. So I don't want a Google alert for people to tell me what I'm afraid of. I believe the movie's pretty good. That's why I decided to do it.
Yes.
So if you tell me what's wrong with it, I don't want to go like, well, shit, you're right. I was medium there. But I did try my best.
But it's a long road to get to this point. Don't you agree? Or maybe not for you. I guess you might have learned quickly.
Well, it just really hurt, and the good didn't feel that good. So even now, if somebody says a comment that feels really good about a performance, it doesn't feel validating. And I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to feel like I'm enlightened by it, because I don't think it's like I've gotten to this point. If it felt good, I would do it.
Right.
If having a Google alert, if I could see like Jake Johnson did this, if it gave me validation, that would be the fucking best.
Yeah, if you could enter like a closed loop system.
And it felt good.
Yeah.
But even the good reviews, it just doesn't feel like it. I'll just go like, nice. But the bad ones do hurt.
Here's the paradox of it all is if I don't feel like I did a great job and you tell me I did, it doesn't land.
Matter. That's right.
Yet I can think I did a good job. You tell me I sucked, and now I start rethinking it.
Exactly it. Yes.
Yeah.
But also, just to be honest, if I think I did a really good job and I saw it and I like it, whatever you say is fine.
Yeah.
If you say, I didn't really like that performance. Like I'd made a movie called Win It All. It's a little indie. Well, I really liked it.
Well, guess what? I watched half of it today at work, and I really liked it.
Thanks, man.
Love it. In fact, I'm quite excited to watch the last half.
Thanks, bud. But there was a couple years ago. It didn't make a splash. It didn't do a thing.
Yeah.
The only comments you ever see when I used to do Twitter would people be like, we shot it on film, and they'd be like, looks like y'all shot it on your phones. And I'd be like, this is all hurting my feelings. And I was like, I don't want to hear anybody's opinion. I love the movie. I love doing it enough. But I will tell you, so I had a thing with Twitter where when I started New Girl, we had to do it. I had no interest in it. Took me a while to figure out the merits of it. Then I got into it, and it was actually fun, and you could like hook up with random people, like athletes. And you'd be like, oh, look at me. I'm like Twittering with John Lester of the Cubs, amazing. The downside was so apparent, and that is there's a little button that's at your @mentions or whatever it is, where it's people who you don't know, who don't love you, don't care for you. have direct access to your brain in your loneliest, weirdest moments. You're laying in bed at 2 a.m., you can't sleep. They are talking to you, saying the cruelest things.
Sure.
And I was finally like, I'm going to miss being able to text at John Lester and say, go win today.
Sure.
I need to take this off my phone indefinitely.
Right. And you've done that.
And I have. And I don't, there's no part of me that misses that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this was genuinely getting it wasn't like taking me into a deep depression. I'm not giving trolls that level of credit.
But the
I
net,
would
the
be
net
alone,
result was not positive.
not even near it. I would be sitting alone with my family. Things are going good. Look at my phone, watching like some kid show like Bunked.
Sure.
So bored. And being like, well, that acting's weird. Her tone's good. That guy's terrible. Let me look at this. Oh, you're right. I did look weird in that photo. Why'd you say that?
Yeah.
And now I'm not on this couch anymore. I'm not having a good time. Mm-hmm. And the person I'm not happy with is some anonymous human who I don't think would have the courage to say it to my face.
And also, let's just assume probably having a bad day themselves,
100%.
probably not feeling at their best.
That's right.
And looking to see who else is shit in the bed.
Yes.
They see you, oh, good, he has, I'll tell him.
And so let's just cut off that communication.
You and I, as I read about you, I
will say before you start that,
Okay.
because we're going to get in something. I've been a fan of yours for a long time. You're an interesting character because your Idiocracy run, that's when I was first coming into the game. Mm-hmm. And those movies I loved.
well,
And that's when I remember I was like, ooh, who the fuck is this guy? I think you are totally the core of that movie.
Thank
I
you.
think that movie, especially as our country keeps progressing, is going to keep getting sadder and funnier.
more of a documentary.
Yes, that's right.
But it's funny because when I meet, you're, I guess, 3 years younger than me, but when I meet younger comedians, I start with, oh, they probably think I'm a hack. They probably hate me. It's like, do you have any of that fear? I think among comedians, we're a little meaner to each other.
Yes, for sure. Well, I started up I did my own stuff, and then I did the UCB in New York.
Mm-hmm.
After Amy and that Ian and that first group went through.
Yeah.
But it was like the next tier, like the Bobby Monahan group.
I love him.
That group, we all came up together, but then I didn't get put on the teams.
Oh, that's
So
harsh.
we were all on like the special teams that we were like the next class. Mm-hmm. But then I was the only one that didn't get promoted.
Oh.
So that whole group, and then my feelings were hurt so bad that I just disappeared from the whole community. Fully retired. It was like it was the same thing with Twitter. The pain was too great. It was, I just have to do a 180.
Yeah.
And so I then lost track of that whole scene until years later we all kind of saw each other out here.
When I was reading about you, you and I have a lot of similarities. I'm gonna walk you through some of them.
I'm excited.
Okay. Well, you're from Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm from Detroit.
Yeah.
Same kind of shit. Mom and Dad got divorced at 2.
Both our dads are drug addicts.
Oh, do you know? Oh,
I know some about shit,
great.
yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
But also in the car game. My dad was a car salesman.
So was mine. City Chevrolet.
And did he end up owning this?
He
thing?
did.
How did he do that?
I didn't really know my dad until my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I knew him up to 2, and then Monty Scher, who owned Pontiacs, his family did. You need to be let in through family.
Yeah.
And Monty picked my dad to be partners with him.
He groomed him.
He groomed him.
And did that relationship make the whole voyage?
No, of course.
Well, yeah. 'Cause the guy
Those relationships never do.
if you haven't had exposure to like the salesman world, it's really a specific thing.
And the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
Wait, I'm sorry, really fast. So your father was a car salesman?
a killer.
Do you have any regrets at times that take away success, take away money, take away your beautiful, successful wife and your family?
Sure.
Do you ever think, man, I should have just been a salesman and just grinded it out?
You know, a tiny bit, but I got to do it for him.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I didn't sell cars, but at this point in his career, I mean, he had a lot of rackets going, but one of them was, this is fucking humiliating, but he was somehow putting together this Hugs Not Drugs like coffee table book, and you could like people could sponsor it in the back, and I would like cold call all these fucking places. I went to an Elks Lodge at like 16, told them this bullshit story, and if I would have had this Hugs Not Drugs coffee table book, I probably wouldn't have ended up in this situation. And I got them to buy like a full page ad.
Oh my goodness! Me and my friend J. Rob like had the Elks dinner, and they're like clinking their glasses, and it was insane. But I got to do that, and also he in Michigan had invented subleasing. So people, when leasing was new, they get locked into these like 6-year leases. They wouldn't want the car anymore, and then so my dad would take terrible people with bad credit, and they would take over their lease. And so my job at 13 was to call. Out of the newspaper, people were selling cars, and let's say they had a 2000 Pontiac fucking 6000E. I'd go, hey, so you're selling this car for $2,800. I imagine your loan's still about $3,900. And they go, yeah, because I'm looking at a book that tells you what the loan is on that car. And I would talk them into coming and turning their car over.
So you did get to do it.
I did get to do it. Yeah.
So your dad. They split, but you did get to spend time with your dad as a teenager.
Yeah, so my dad left at 3, and all of his buddies were car salesmen, and he kept the family home, and we moved to a shitty welfare apartment.
Oh, he kept the home?
Oh, yeah, he sure did. Well, Jake, he bought that house.
What an asshole. How many siblings you got?
At the time, I had an older brother who's 5 years older than me.
So the 3 of you had to move out?
Well, my sister came later.
Okay.
A beautiful part of that story is the dude who moved into our family home, Greg, this guy Greg Hatter, who was my dad's top dog and drinking buddy. My mom ended up marrying Greg.
No.
And then we all Greg we all took up with Greg, and then he knocked my mom up, and then it's incredible.
It is incredible.
It's incredible. But it sounds like my dad was like had custody every other weekend.
Okay.
But he's a very heavy drinker.
Even during the weekends he had you.
Oh God, yeah. He would drop us off just hammered, But then it was not like
it was different.
It was different.
I mean, it's still terrible, but we have memories of my dad was rarely around, and when we would go out to dinner with him, the drive homes, he used to make up a game. He was a big cokehead. It would be the booze, but then at a certain point, he would need to get home. He would need to be away from his family. And it was me and my brother and my sister. And as kids, we were so excited to see him. It would be months. Mm-hmm. So, when you're a little kid around your dad, no matter how much you pretended you didn't miss him, you would just explode with energy. And I'm a big talker. I've always been a little show off. So now at 40, I've learned to calm it down. At 8, I was unbearable. So I was like, and another thing. Ah, look at it. Look at the way my tits fart. Blink, blink, look at it. The worst.
Right.
So,
and you got to catch him up on about 2 months worth of shit.
Every sports game I've seen, everything I played, just the worst. Right. But he would have a certain point where we would get in the car and we would play the quiet game. Because his big thing was, and I've never told this, we never talk about this as a family besides with each other, because it's absurd. But he would say he had to take a shit.
Oh, okay.
And he could only shit alone at his house. So we had to leave the restaurant right away because he had to go to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And we know Dad. He needs to be in his own toilet.
Yeah.
So we would get in his little car, and we couldn't talk because now we're playing the quiet game. The quiet game is everybody has to be silent. And the way you win is be entirely silent the ride home. So he would speed home swerving. And when we got to his house, he would barely stop. We would all jump off. He would call off who won, who was the quietest, and then speed home so he could go to the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
And you guys would celebrate your victory.
It was very
driveway.
quickly. We still it was like the first couple times we'd be like, I won. And even as kids, you just, having kids, you understand how much they get.
Oh,
and even then you would be like, that wasn't awesome, was it?
Right.
And then like the 3 siblings quietly walk in and we're like, wait a second. As soon as dinner was done, he had to go to the bathroom really bad.
Yeah. As if he ate something tainted.
Every 5th Thursday.
Yeah,
Come
some
on,
bad
buddy.
seafood.
Come on, pal.
Would he ever do the move where he picks you up and then takes you straight to grandma and grandpa's?
No. So he was around less. He wasn't a half custody. My parents split when he was 2.5, 3. I asked to live with him as opposed to my mom.
Oh, you did at 2?
3.
At 3.
2.5,
Really?
3. And so she said yes.
Oh my gosh.
So I was with him at his little sad drunk, apartment.
Yeah.
The fridge full of beer, those Playboys all by the toilet, the weird, cheesy, naked lady playing a saxophone, 80s photo. And I remember being a kid thinking, I gotta get to my mom.
Okay, so
and
it was a short.
Quickly I said, I want mom back. And once I went back to my mom, it was the beginning of, if I didn't see him a year after that,
That was normal.
It'd be 6 months. We'd have a random day. And then, but big chunks of time.
Yeah.
Where I just grew up. I felt like my mom was my mom and my dad. I didn't believe I had a dad. It's when I took my mom's last name. It's when I became my mom's kid.
Yeah.
I didn't know my dad's sisters. It was, you guys just aren't me.
And he never left. You guys all lived, in proximity to one another, right?
20 minutes away.
Right.
But there were times growing up, my sister was having surgeries a lot where she would be in the hospital with my mom and my brother and I would be in the house alone calling him saying, even if we'll just sleep at your place.
Right.
And he would always pass.
Oh boy.
So it was
hard pass.
It was just, all right, man, well then fuck you too. Mm-hmm. But then what's tricky is at 17, he's sobered up. And now at 40, he's my dad now.
That is
so
wild.
it is a really weird thing because for a while he became my buddy, then my weird uncle, then his friends call him Croco, as in Croco shit.
Okay.
So then he's like, you can call me Croco, and I'm like, you know what, Croc, I like you. And then I could drink around him even though he was sober. And then I bottomed out at 25. I lived with him, and me and Croco both realized, fuck, we got a lot in common.
Yeah.
And then we were both insomniacs. We could stay up all night. We had the same sense of humor. I like Croco.
Yeah.
Then from Croco, as he got older and I got older, it became like Bud. And then when I moved out and got married, all of a sudden we would have talks about kids. And even though I wouldn't do it like him, he's now dad. And, now that I text him dad, he'll say nothing feels better for you to call me dad. But I'm like, well, I genuinely mean it now.
Yeah.
So if he's saying good job doing that, I'll be like, thanks, Dad. I guess this is what it feels like to have a dad.
It's cool that you were open to it growing like that. Do you think it's because he was doing the deal? And
he did the deal. I wasn't open to it.
Okay, yeah, because
I'm a spiteful son of a bitch.
Me too.
Yeah.
So when my dad left, I didn't give a shit. I was like, oh, good, that guy who comes home at 7 drunk and tells us all what to do, he's out of the picture. I love my mom anyways. My older brother can handle this fathering
Same
stuff.
with me. I have an older brother too.
How much older?
4 years older.
Okay, yeah.
And I had the same thing.
Yeah.
He's and I had uncles who I liked.
Yeah, he taught me how to ride dirt bike and stuff.
I got enough men around.
Yeah. So I didn't really long for it, but I would, over the years in my childhood, give him a chance maybe.
Yeah, same.
And then maybe we'd be getting on for a while and then,
Backfire. Same.
yes.
He would talk about golf. We would have a thing.
My dad loved golf.
And I'm like, I'm a sporty son of a bitch. He'll go, maybe we'll play on Sunday. I would sit outside, wait for Sunday, no show up.
Yeah.
I would be in my little dorky shorts with my and my mom would say he's not coming.
Yeah.
And I would do I think you're wrong. He promised. And then that humble walking in saying, well, he didn't come. You're trying not to cry. And you're like, it doesn't matter. And then all of a sudden, 3 days later, you're smoking.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with
Yeah.
that. You just wanted to try cigarettes.
Mine was, I think he was supposed to have us on an Easter, and my mom dressed us up in matching sailor suits, but I had been coming off of, I had the chicken pox, and his girlfriend of a week's daughter hadn't had chicken pox yet, so I wasn't allowed to come over for Easter, and we were in the sailor outfits, and there's a picture of it. It's fucking brutal.
It is so brutal. Man.
I look I know where that sailor suit picture is, and I'll catch it every now and then at my mom's. And I'm like, that's dark. That's dark to not let that little guy come over.
By the way, we can laugh about it because I have a similar thing. I once called him, asked. I was having a really hard time in school. My aunt was watching us. My mom was at the hospital, and I did the full on, beg. Can you come tonight? I need you.
Yeah.
I need you to. My aunt was crying, saying, don't ask him to. He's not gonna. Don't get hurt. And I was finally shut up. You guys don't know. I did my big 10-year-old stand. And looking back, it was alcohol and drugs, which I don't view as an excuse. I'm not a believer that the drugs are so powerful it changes you. I've partied. Come on. They're also fun.
Yeah.
But in that moment, as trying to weasel out, he said, I would, but his partner, Monty, his son, John, who was in between me and my brother's age, he said, John's going through a hard time and he really needs me right now.
Oh, geez,
and I know,
Louise.
looking back, now that I know the man,
Yeah.
he was trying to do a sales job, but he wasn't in the right mind.
Yeah.
So he didn't go to John Shares.
Of course
he sat
not.
at home and he did a bunch of cocaine
Sure.
and he masturbated until he passed out and then was afraid bad guys were coming.
Yes.
Or whatever madness he was involved in. But I'm like, that's the wrong sell.
Yeah.
For me, at least, I didn't right away. I was not forgiving him. When he wanted to be buds with me,
Yeah.
I would do my thing is I've got good friends. I got good people I love. But I don't, if you're not on the team, then kind of fuck you. And he just wasn't on my team.
Just really quick
Yeah.
for both of us, we did it. We made it without them.
That's right.
So the kind of risk reward analysis is pretty easy. Like,
Yeah.
I've already not had you, so it just makes it a little bit easier to kind of
I
shut the
agree.
door, right?
And say, but for me, when he started coming around, I was in my early 20s. I would say, sure, I'll meet with you. And he'll go, great. I'm going through the steps. There's been a lot of changes. And I would go, the only place I'll meet you is at a bar. And I would drink his drink. He was a Stoli and Ice guy. So I would only drink Stoli, and I would get a pack of cigarettes, Merritt's, what he'd smoked. So I would have him watch me get blackout drunk.
Oh, wow.
So, because I knew he still wanted it. To be like, I know you're a fuck up, and you're going to fuck up. And my older sister's crying, saying she loves you and misses you. And my older brother's the politician of the group saying like, well, you screwed up. Well, there's a fuck up sitting with a fuck up. So fuck you too, Joe Boo. Let's drink. And he never quit. So he never screwed up. So for me, my test to him went on for years.
Okay.
I kept fucking with this guy.
He earned it.
And then he got older.
Yeah.
And then you were looking at an older guy where I still had all this like, I still hate you deep down.
Yes.
And now I'm looking at this old man who's saying like, I don't know how many years I got here. I do love you so much. And I had to go, having kids changed a lot.
Well, I was just going to say, you had
changed
the
everything.
advantage of
doing it differently.
having kids. Being a parent, don't you kind of go like, oh, right, I'm a human. I'm not just dad.
That's right.
And now I realize, oh my God, my parents are just, they
That's
were just
right.
fucking humans. I don't know why you can't see that until you...
I've got a question for you as a guy who, there's not a lot of us who have very similar paths and careers.
Yeah, totally.
And 2 daughters.
Oh, your
2
twins
little
are
girls.
daughters.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Do you have the reaction to your father's fathering you? Do you father in opposite ways at times just to make sure you're nothing like him? Or do you just go on all instincts?
Well, what's interesting is in many ways I'm like him. I will say, with all that stuff, my dad was super affectionate to me.
was, okay.
He like wanted to hug me and kiss me and squeeze me and tell me he loved me, and then he just kind of wouldn't do the work. He would, so I didn't have that thing. And I'm crazy affectionate with my daughters. But I'm aware that by the time my first daughter was 3, I'd already spent more time with her than he had in the 18 years he had me. Like, just objectively, I had already done that.
Right.
So my thing is, I guess I'm parenting in opposition to him just in how present I am.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
How about you?
Yeah, I know that when it started, it was, I couldn't take jobs. I all of a sudden, look, at my whole career, things shifted. All of a sudden, being on a TV show, being 12 hours, 5 days a week felt insane.
Yes.
As opposed to before, I was like, I want another take. And fuck, it's also kind of a party and it's fun. All of us 14 hours, 5 days a week with commuting to do 22 minutes, I'm missing out on these hours.
No.
Drove me insane.
Yes.
But it's also, that's been now a big change. So since then, I'm like, oh, I don't think of jobs. I don't think of anything, because if the old win of our careers is now a loss.
Yeah, 100%.
But so I had that huge shift of, if I continue to do my business and I win, and I win the thing that I was trying to win at 20, then I am going to lose at home.
Yeah.
Because I cannot really be their dad the way I need to be their dad and not be here.
Yeah, 100%.
It's different on FaceTime. It's different for a weekend, and then you're gone for 2 months, then you're there for a week. So what does that mean?
Yeah.
And that fucked a lot. So at first it was the opposite, but now that I've made that change and I'm home more, now it's kind of getting back to just instinct, because now I've been doing this long, it would be weird for me to be gone.
Right.
Like now if I wasn't around, my kids who can talk would be like, what's wrong with you?
Oh yeah. My oldest will, if I work too much, I will hear about it in a second.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Confidence. It's listening to your gut. It's moving forward, even when the path ahead is unclear. For nearly 160 years, Pacific Life has helped people keep their promises, building confidence for generations. Whether you're confident in your financial future or just beginning to envision it, we're here to help. Ask a financial professional how. Pacific Life, the power of a promise. Pacific Life Insurance Company, Omaha, Nebraska, and in New York, Pacific Life and Annuity, Phoenix, Arizona.
Well, I feel like I have 3 wives now.
Right,
But in a
yes.
very real, like in a very funny way, in a charming way, but also in a very real way.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
They will call me on shit. We will have talks. They will sit me down. The other day I was with my daughters and we were in a park near our house, and my wife is really into animals and the environment. And
Same
I like,
shit.
Yeah, and I believe in all that stuff. But I also grew up a rat in Chicago. So like I probably littered until I was 16
Yeah,
without
yeah.
even knowing littering's a thing.
Exactly.
So now I'm like, I don't want to be somebody who litters, but I also don't want to like pick up somebody else's trash just because we're in a beautiful park.
Yeah.
But I love that my wife thinks of that. So I'm like, oh, it's really sweet. But you are picking up someone's cigarette butt. Like, imagine the trash lips that were on that. I know it because they used to be mine.
Yeah.
But so my daughter picks up this piece of glass and she's throwing it out. And I'm like, hey, what you're doing is really sweet. And then she grabs one and she hands it to me. And I honestly, my instinct was behind us was just bushes.
Yeah, sure.
We're away from where this. So I went like this, and she goes, Daddy, give it back. She threw it out, and then she goes, we need to talk. She goes, an animal could step on that and scratch their foot, and they need to go to the emergency room. And I was honestly sitting there, though, talking to a 5-year-old who, I just know. And I'm friends with her, and I'm her dad. And I was like, I've done this with my wife when we first started. And she would say, like, you drink so much Coke. Like, it's not water. And I'll be like, no, I know.
Yeah.
You're going to drink a bottle of wine every night? I'm like, no, just to sleep.
Right.
But those like basic human talks,
Yes.
my wife did them. And then I was like, oh yeah, I guess there's a way to be a better human. I guess I should think about how much I drink.
I'm in the exact same boat with my wife. I mean, she's like teaching me shit that I should have known for 35 years.
Basic stuff.
But back to your littering thing.
Yeah.
I try to explain this to people. Like when I grew up, we would go to Toronto occasionally. My mom would drive us for a trip to Toronto. As soon as we crossed the border in Windsor, we would get a humongous bag of McDonald's.
Sure.
And we always finished eating around London, Ontario. And this bag was so big. Like when you threw it out the window, you had to push it out the window with both hands. And it never crossed anyone's mind that that's not what you did.
Totally.
You just chucked a fucking Glad 50-gallon trash bag out the window and just kept it moving. And everyone around you was doing the same thing. And just the highway was just looked like a fucking,
trash zone. But I will feel now where I will feel sad sometimes where I'll see a family in a car and they'll just have a sloppy vibe to them. And I'll see the kids and I'll see them littering. And, I will say, I love my mother. I love my brother, my sister. We had a nice thing. It just wasn't an easy go for me. So I'll see kids in that environment and I'll think like, God, it's got to be hard. Like you're 5 years old, you're in the back of that car. Like that looks like a chaotic scene.
Yeah.
And you'll like make guys now. And what I think growing up is, I think the best thing about growing up is you get to age into your life and you get to all of a sudden pick the people you want to be with. And I think people can fade and you can make weird rules to be like, I don't like that.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you go like, this is my life? Great. It gets to be like this.
Yes.
But I remember, and I'll see people in those cars where you're like, you look at a kid and it's that heartbreaking thing of, here's a weird example of it. I went to a play place with my kids, like Amy's Play. It's like one of those indoor play zones where you pay X amount of dollars. They can play for as long as they want. I love them. You can sit. I'm doing my dad duty. They're good for 2 hours. It was closing and there was a woman with 2 kids and she was frantic and not 100% doing great.
Right.
Her kid was doing fine. She starts spilling about her life and her husband who's not helping and her brother who was murdered. And it was just chaos. And then at one point she hands me her son and goes to the bathroom and her son was finicky the whole time. And she's gone for a good 6 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm holding this kid in my arms and I had a moment of like, oh my God, what if she just disappeared? I have no link to her.
Yeah.
And there's these 2 other kids. And I had the out of body experience for a second. And then I locked in this little boy's eyes and we looked at each other and I was like, well, no matter what, buddy, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
But then I had the deeper thing of but fuck, you got 18 years of chaos if she comes back because she's not okay.
Right.
She's doing the best she can, but she needs help.
Yeah.
And she made it very clear no one's helping. and you're 6 months old. And one day you're going to be 40. And that could be great. But when she walks out of that bathroom and I hand you back and we leave, you got 17 and a half years of some shit, man.
Well, look, I'm also very sympathetic to when I'm observing other families. Like, I doubt it could be easier than the way we have it.
Yeah.
Like, we have it as easy as you can get. We're not worried about money.
That's right.
My sister's around all the time. That's
great.
And even in that situation, it's really hard to keep your shit together, not yell at anyone, not be mean, all that stuff. So yeah, I just imagine doing this whole thing by myself, dead broke, worrying about everything.
Brutal.
I'd be half the dad I think that I am.
Yeah, I think so too.
Now, did your dad, I'm really curious, was your older brother, since he had 7 years with him, did he mourn the loss of him more than you? Or did he have kind of a more favorable view of him?
I think it's more favorable.
Right.
He and my dad, I think he forgave him way easier. They were friends way faster. He remembers my dad and my mom being together. He remembers good times. I don't remember any of that first part. I just know him as the guy who wasn't around that much.
Yeah.
But honestly, all of us now are, and I don't say this as any kind of spin because it's just the fact, like, we're all now really close with him, which is as weird to me as when it was bad.
Right. Yeah. Did mom have, were there stepdads?
Never dated.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. She retired that side of her personality.
How did she do that?
Honestly, I don't know, and I don't want to think about it. But I will say that's something that I appreciate that my mom didn't do. Because I had an ex-girlfriend who, we were together for a long time, who had a mom who dated a lot. And those guys come into your life and become kind of parents for a while. Yeah. And then kind of discipline you.
Yeah, they got to like out alpha my brother and I right out of the gate.
That sounds so tricky.
I don't think for me the dad being gone was where all the trauma and dysfunction. It's the new men that would come in and
I totally hear that. I very much I think my mom understood that she's just got to shut it down. Right. Because our house was totally normal. There just wasn't a dad.
So when you got out of high school, you went to the University of Southern Illinois?
Nope.
No?
I did. So my high school was tricky because I dropped out at 15 and then I went back.
Wait, you did?
Yeah. So it took me 5 years to get through high school.
How did mom allow you to drop out, or was that
So it's weird timing, but telling you about who I was at 8 with my dad, that's who I was in class. So the reason I got into comedy and entertaining was I honestly thought, and when I say it, it sounds like I'm doing a bit, but I'm trying to be as honest as possible, that school was you were there to learn. I honestly thought you were there to try to get all the kids to look at you as opposed to the teacher.
Absolutely.
And you were really there to make everybody have fun. And if everybody liked me in the classroom, and if I had enough friends, I was succeeding in school. I aced it.
Yeah.
So when I would get a grade or a class, I had to take a test. I didn't even care about the grade. I knew I didn't know any of the information. I wasn't studying at all. But it was, how do I do this while everyone's quiet to make people laugh and to like me? Yeah. And then how do I spin a D into something that's funny? And it all started crashing down by my sophomore year in high school because kids are starting to get smart. And then I was the really funny, dumb kid.
Oh, wow.
And that was the turn I did not like, where I was like, well, no, it's not that I'm dumb. I just don't know anything.
Right.
And
I could. But I'm using my attention to entertain you guys.
That's what I like to think. And there was a book called Cry the Beloved Country that I had to read and write an in-class essay on, and I didn't read it. And I told my mom, tomorrow we have a class essay, and I can't go because I have a D. I didn't read the book, and that'll take me to an F, and I can't have the F right now. So I can't go to school tomorrow. She goes, are you going to read the book tonight? And I go, oh, God, no. She goes, are you going to read it the next day? And I go, no. And she goes, when are you going to read it? And I go, I'm never going to read that fucking book. And she goes, so when are you going back to school? And I said, as like a challenge, well, I guess I'm not. And she goes, great, then I'll hold you to it.
Oh, wow.
And so it was October of my sophomore year. I walked into my room. I was like, cool, I won that moment, got scared, came out, and I
That
said,
moment.
I'll go back. And she said, no, you said you're not. So my Uncle Eddie, who was living with us and hanging neon signs, he's like, let's go to work. So I started working
Really?
and then hated it and then went back to school the following year, a year younger. And that's when I got into like theater and creative writing because I'm like, I can't catch up on
So
the
that
other
was-
stuff, but I can fake it this way.
That was probably the best thing she
Yeah.
could have done is just called bullshit and let you do it.
That's for sure. She's a instinctually very smart lady. with
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Did she go to college?
No,
She didn't.
no.
She made stained glass.
She made stained glass. That's a deep cut.
Yeah. I got confused. You went to University of Iowa.
I went to University of Iowa. That's right.
Right. You know why that happened is I was do you know Ben Falcone? Have you ever met him?
Yeah.
Okay, so he and I are old friends.
Oh, nice.
And I was just texting with him because his dad was a teacher in Carbondale. And I was like,
okay.
did your dad teach at University of Illinois down there? And he was like, no. Anyways,
He's a super funny dude.
he some of my best sketches. We went through the Groundlings together. And,
Oh, I didn't know you went off through the Groundlings.
Yeah, and he and I had a comedy troupe called Berryfoot, and I shouldn't say he and I was in a group that he put
Yeah.
together, but
so
we'd
we-
rent these theaters and no one would come.
Is
And-
that your group that you kind of came up with?
Yes, except for I took like a hiatus to finish UCLA, and they all
Yeah.
got ahead of me, but
that was kind of-
yeah, my like first level, second
Yeah.
level.
So when
third
you guys
level,
all see each other, you guys all. So that was.
they're my
your-
oldest comedy friends.
Interesting.
Yeah. But anyway, so University of Iowa, you got in there.
Yeah, I actually really liked it. It was I was really into the beats at the time, and I was reading, and I liked that idea of
Like Kerouac.
yeah,
and-
that
okay.
whole kind of like cool lifestyle.
Me
And
too.
I thought all of that was really cool.
Did you like Bukowski?
Of course, yeah. I thought all that was.
When I was watching your
coolest.
movie, I was thinking of Bukowski the whole time. I had kind of a Barfly vibe.
Yeah, for
to it.
sure. Barfly was a huge movie for me.
Yeah.
Once I saw that type of character,
Mm-hmm.
that was my dad and my uncle characters. That's what I always thought was cool.
Yeah.
I'm not an actor who's, the triple threat. I never want to do musicals. There's all that stuff I don't care about. That was the stuff I cared about.
Mm-hmm.
Where I was like, oh, I think that stuff is cool. But it
You're
was
a
trippy to me.
romantic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially in that age.
Yeah, me too.
I've grown out of it a little bit because I was a romantic because I believed I was in those novels.
Of
And I
course.
really thought someone was writing a book about me and I was one of the cool characters. Iowa really worked for that. We had a group I used to hop on freight trains.
Oh,
We could
yes.
jump, we slept out in the cornfields, doing the whole big jugs of Burgundy.
Yes.
It was the best.
Oh, I love this.
But for me, I lived that game fantasy, that fictional character, all through when I went to New York, when I moved out to LA.
Yeah.
And it changed when I was in commercials as an actor.
oh, that's when.
And
it
then
hit
I
you.
realized I'm not this cool guy. I'm
Yeah.
literally in a pop-up ad and fighting so hard for it. And I have a headshot where I have a beanie on.
Oh, wow.
And I realized when the photographer was there, I will do anything for this job. Therefore, I'm not Neil Cassidy.
Yes.
I'm just another grinding actor who wants a
wants
career
it.
in this business because I like the rewards of Hollywood. I'm not a cool character from a novel.
Yeah.
I'm a guy from a sitcom.
Well, mine was Bukowski. I was like, oh, you can write about taking a shit and getting hammered and chasing girls.
Totally.
Like, that's all I think about. And that's somehow romantic and
now-
poetic.
and you're cool for it?
yes.
You know what's wild about 2018 and those characters? And maybe it's just I say it's wild because I have 2 daughters, but those characters are so not cool anymore.
Oh, that's a wrap on all that.
But it's also, and I'm not even just saying that like because I'm going through a big reading stage right now. I'm reading all the old classics that I've missed. Where I realized in high school, I didn't read Steinbeck. It was assigned to me, but I did Cliff Notes.
Okay.
So I'm going through like all the Steinbeck. I just read 1984. I read Animal for all the books I didn't read. When I pick up an old beat book, or I still have my Bukowski books that I've saved,
Yeah.
I'll read one of these poems and I'm like, homie, what are you talking about?
Right.
I'm like, no, it's just not it anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it's not even it when I'm alone in the dark reading with my little light on. I'm like, even for me, I'm like, the world just changed. Here's where Bukowski has lost me in this period of my time. There is an overall hatred he has, and not just towards women, towards himself, towards life.
Oh, he's a misanthrope for
Yeah,
sure.
but like so deeply and so violently that I think romantically, I've never been that angry, but I like to think I was when I was really pissed at my dad. So it felt comforting. It felt like a blanket. If I was mad about something,
yeah.
it just does. It just now I feel like Go to fucking therapy, man. There's options, Charles.
Yes. Well, I
Charles,
ran it.
talk to some smart people, homie.
Yeah.
Figure this shit out.
I ran that system for a good decade.
Yes.
And I didn't feel as good as his stories felt.
Yeah, that's
Is
totally-
at the end of
that's
the day, I seem to have a bigger conscience than he has.
Yeah, that's right.
So I can't really enjoy it, but I still like to
You can still get
fantasize
into
about
it.
it.
Yeah.
But you wrote a play while you were at University of Iowa, and that got you admitted to Tisch.
Yeah, I wrote so I've always been obsessed with, we're doing deep cuts on this one,
Fuck
Dex.
yeah, we
Thanks for
are.
doing
Yeah,
us some
we're
research.
gonna get your pants down. We're gonna inspect everything.
I've always been obsessed with humans and animals and the weird connections that we have, and this idea of a spiritual connection between us, and this idea that I don't have any deep scientific answers to it, but there's just a question about it all that I like. Like when I was growing up, there was an old newspaper clipping we had in our house about two monkeys on an old ship that were traveling to circus from the 1890s, an old newspaper. And they were a couple, this like boy monkey and a girl monkey, and they did their shows together. And the girl monkey died.
Uh-oh.
And when she died, they just threw her over, her body. She was dead.
Yeah.
So you're not going to bury her. She's
Not
on
going to
ship.
serve her.
And the boy monkey, who was a famous performer monkey with a circus, mourned so badly that he couldn't get over it. So they let him out of his cage, and he jumped off the ship and committed suicide right where they'd thrown her to his death. And the thing that was written was, death of beloved monkey who committed suicide. And that's why it was a funny thing that we saved, like a monkey committed suicide.
Right.
But when I read it, I was like, man, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, that's connection between these two people that was so great, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I was in Iowa and I wrote a play about a zookeeper whose job was to care for, in the San Diego Zoo, to care for like the famous gorilla.
Oh,
and she was the one that everybody came and saw. And he was the guy who could go in with her and like, the kind of long-haired dweeby guy who like gives her bananas and, Coco doesn't hurt him, waves at the people, scratches her back and leaves.
Yeah.
He's married. He's got a whole life. Things are pretty good. No kids, but things are working. And then Coco gets sick and dies. And when Coco dies, everything falls apart. And spiritually, he dies. And he realizes without her, he's nothing. And his wife's like, well, I'm here too. And for him, the friends were all fake because he can't just climb in that cage and live with Coco. And that's where he wants to go. And it takes this dark spiral into his kind of sadness.
Uh-huh.
I wrote it, did not show it to anybody at Iowa. It was not one of those plays I like sent to my friends for notes.
Right.
It wasn't one of my cool ones on a typewriter.
Yeah.
And then Mark Dickerman, the head of Tisch, read that and said, I'm going to let you in. We got a lot of work to do.
Oh.
But we can do independent studies together. And so I stayed there for 2 years, and then I did a year of the MFA studying with him, screenwriting and TV writing too.
Okay, yeah. So someone though produced your play. It actually got made, right?
It got up
and you won a prize. You won a
there was a bunch like college festivals got in. It got published. One of these got published.
and you got a grant.
I got a grant. I wrote a screenplay about Albert Einstein's first wife. She was a scientific genius, and they were partners. And originally, he loved her because they were equals, and he couldn't believe he could like date somebody that they could talk about these big ideas, and she could keep up with them.
Yeah.
And then in that time, he got a backlash, and they were like, "Well, we don't want hers." And so there was a lot of theories that she was actually half of a lot of his early theories, and she got no credit for it. And he turned on her when the spotlight came, and it drove her fucking nuts, and then she ended up getting crazy, and becoming like mentally ill. But there's a lot of paperwork that shows that connection was very
instrumental,
work partnership. And as soon as the bright lights came, old Albert turned front and center.
Yeah.
So I wrote a screenplay about that. It's not a good movie, but just I think that idea, I'd found her story. I got a Sloan Fellowship and got paid to do that.
Right.
So I was making money doing that and doing side jobs. And then.
Why do you move to LA?
Well, I moved from there.
Well, because you did UCB, I guess.
I did UCB, but then I didn't make the team.
Right, and you no longer wanted to ever.
I couldn't be in that scene anymore. I was humiliated. My feelings were deeply hurt. I had a big ego with improv and sketch. I thought I was doing good stuff. So I couldn't be there where there were people I thought I was doing better than.
Right.
And then I was like, I've always thought, and I still think, you got to make sure you know who the rules are. Like, who's making the rules, and do you respect the person making the rules? So I'm not a believer in just following a rule blindly. So if somebody picks a team, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Right.
So I've always had that. So for me, it was then like, I'm not any worse than I was. I just don't like your selection, so I'm out.
Right.
And I was dating the woman, Annie, and Annie Baker and I broke up. So I had to get out of New York. I had come up with this really weird idea. My buddy Billy Bungeroth and I used to talk about how Jerry Seinfeld did Comedian, where he toured around and showed what it was really like for a comedian. I found it really offensive.
Okay.
Because I thought, that's not what it's like. I tour around and do shows. Audiences hate me. I have to work so hard for them to even go, we might like him. You're Jerry Seinfeld. They kind of like you. You're playing to a packed house. I'm playing to like 9 people. So we came up with this idea, like we should do Comedian, but show what it's really like and how paranoid we get and how weird it is. And then my buddy Simon and I were writing a movie together, an NYU guy, in Oklahoma. It's a weird story to get to Chicago, but his uncle took Simon and I out to give him a big talk about like, hey man, you got to do something with your life, man. And in that talk,
he brought you along?
Yeah, his uncle's like a party guy, though. He's a coke guy.
Okay, great.
Self-made rich guy. So the night was wild.
Oh, I bet.
Blackout drunk.
Yeah.
The guy's paying for everything. I'm drinking the
I
finest
love a guy
tequila.
who's fucking slamming boogie shoogie, telling you how to get your life.
But yelling it. And for me, Simon just brought me as a buffer. He's like, I got to do this night. I actually love my uncle. He's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's have fun. Yeah. I am so out of it. And the guy finally turns. He was like, you just can't sit on your fucking ass, man. And I go, well, tell me about it, man. I'm already there. I got an idea. And I pitched him Project Joke, which is what I called it, which was my Comedian.
Right.
And I go, we're booked all through the Midwest, man. We got all these top places. We got a movie we want to make. And he goes, what's stopping you? Fear. And I go, no, man, money. And he goes, how much you need? I go, my producer says 10 grand. He wrote me a check right there for $10,000.
Come on.
Swear on my life, true story.
He doesn't even remember.
I've never followed up with him. I haven't, because I don't link to him. So I took the 10,000. I called my friend Bill. I said, we have to do it. So I then went to Chicago. We called all these places in the Midwest. We rented an RV and we made a 6-day docu-series, which would now just be a reality show, but it was 2002, where we traveled around and we wrote a sketch show in a week and we performed every night at a different venue. And we tried it. You show what audiences in the Midwest think of two guys they don't know.
Right.
And then I was in Chicago editing that. Never turned out. It's never been finished. I have rough cuts, but they're all very bad.
Yep.
I was going to move back to New York to be with Annie. She met a new guy, said, I'm going to be with him. So I said, well, Jakey J's fucked with this weird project. My buddy Brian Farrell, who I had met at a wedding, said, I have a room in Hollywood on Las Palmas on Selma and give you a room for random call. Still one of my closest friends. Give you a room for $500 a month, and I can get you a job at a casino here, being a third-party player, where you'll make enough money and you hang out in the casinos with me. And it was right before Halloween, and I go, January 1st, I'm your guy. And I moved out
Where do you
here.
work, Commerce?
He worked at Commerce. I worked at Hollywood Park.
And what'd you do at Hollywood Park?
Third-party player. So, you know, if you ever go to those casinos and you play blackjack or a table game, there's always somebody there who's got a name tag on and there's a bunch of chips in front of them. So they are not associated with the casino. It's just a little private business. They have the same rights at that table as you have. It's a company called Corporation, and they just represent the bank. But you could represent the bank if you wanted, but they always get there early, take over seat 1, and make an hourly wage with bonuses to take the house odds against players.
That is so confusing. So
it's meant to be confusing so that you go, I don't want to think about it, so that this company gets the house odds. Because here, you can't go and play blackjack against the house. It's illegal.
Oh. Okay, that's what I was missing.
Yeah, so if you go to an Indian casino, you're playing against the casino.
Right.
Well, here you cannot. That's why you play an ante here. So that $1 ante is you're just playing cards at a table.
Okay.
So who's the casino?
And it's some privateer.
It's just some guy at the table who I would sit there and my uncle's name is Mark. That's my actual name. But I don't go by that either. But I kept Mark on so I could feel
Mark died in a motorcycle accident?
Mark died in a motorcycle accident.
Yeah, I didn't like reading that.
Yeah, that was sad.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Well, let me ask just really quick. Dad's an addict.
Yes.
Recovering addict. You've mentioned blacking out a few times.
Yeah.
What's your relationship? What was your relationship with booze and drugs at that time?
Yeah. It's a complicated relationship.
It's dicey.
We go up and down.
Sure.
I've got my stuff with it. But I have never gotten too far in either direction because my friends call me Rule Book as a nickname because I always do weird rules. So as soon as I know it's getting too weird with myself, I will make my own rules and have to dry out for a long period of time.
Right.
Example, my wife was 5 months pregnant. I was shooting a scene from New Girl. Mm-hmm. I had a little bit of vodka in my breath.
Okay.
God bless. It's later.
Yeah.
Who's saying black?
What are you, year what in the show?
This must have been 3.
Okay, you can drink.
I knew the lines.
Yes,
I knew
your
the
character
improvs.
inside and out.
So I had a little cocktail in me. But I was sitting there, and our camera operator, this guy Paul, camera B, walks up and goes, "Twins, huh?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "When are they coming?" I go, "October." And he was like, "Great." He goes, "How much have you read about all this?" I'm like, "Oh, we're excited. We're excited, Paul." And he goes, "You think they're coming in October?" I'm like, "You bet your ass." And he goes, "You know what? 5 months, they could come any moment." And I go, "Oh, I don't think so." They said October. And he goes, "They could come at any," and I had this panic. If they came now, the first smell they would smell would be Stoli.
Sure.
Which means I fucking repeated it.
You did it.
And just didn't drink another sip of alcohol until I think they were like a year and a half.
Oh, that's a long time.
So it's like, for me, I'll like dance around with it.
Yeah.
And then, but I don't really party. I can't get drunk anymore. But now my game is I'll have like 2
Because you got to be up so early with the kids? Or?
It just doesn't feel as good.
Oh, okay.
It just changed.
All
So
right.
that old blackout days are now for me, like if I go to New York to do press. When I'm back in the I don't drink at home.
Right.
We don't have any booze in the house.
Right.
So I'm like, ooh, the hotel?
Yeah,
I'm
let's
like,
get it
oh,
on.
I could have 2 cocktails, but I'm not a guy. 2 doesn't lead to 10.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I'll do 2.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And did you ever powder your nose?
No, my dad was into coke.
Yeah.
He asked me when we first started talking. I was in Iowa and I got drunk one night and got aggressive and broke a door and punched through a microwave.
Okay.
And I didn't have the money to get out of the problem I had created. And this was the beginning of me being like, do I like this man? And I had to call my dad. My mom didn't have any money and say like, so the university is unhappy with old Jakey's behavior. And he said, I'm obviously no one to give you advice. First of all, I'll help you. Consider this a mistake. Let's not do it again. So I was like, thank you for being a class act.
Yeah.
And then he goes, I'm no one to give advice. But it seems like of all my kids, you've got whatever I've got.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think there could be truth to that. He said, I beg you, even though you like alcohol and you like to smoke a little weed, please stay away from cocaine because you will love it. And he goes, and once you do it, Jake, he goes, I'm not saying you will. You might be a bigger man than I was. He goes, but our makeup, that's just it.
Yeah. Yes. Well, you like to fucking talk. You just said you spent your entire
I like to get into it.
Your school career chatting nonstop to everyone. And that's all it is super fuel for that.
I don't like to sleep. I like to be part of things. I like to feel good. I like to...
Yeah, never surrender a good time.
Never surrender.
Go to the ship is fucking
That's right.
Totally underwater. Well, it's interesting you say this because I'm still very pro drugs. Like I do want my children to experiment with mushrooms and stuff and all that stuff. In my speech I've prepared for them is drugs are really fun. Please don't do coke because then you lose your right to do all of them like I did.
So Coke was the one that changed the game.
Yeah, for me, Coke is just like...
So you could drink, you could...
Well, no, I was an alcoholic. There's no question. But I could have potentially juggled it, like say how you're doing, where like you quit for a while and this and that. But it just got to a point where if I had 2 Jack and Diets, I was getting Coke. And then it's 3 days later.
Yeah.
And I had to admit to myself, oh, you're never going to be able to get drunk without getting Coke.
That's
it's just that happened. I crossed something where I could find it anywhere. You wouldn't believe where I would find Coke.
Yeah.
You know, VFW hall up in fucking Marysville, Washington, you know. Somehow I find someone who's got it. But Yeah, I'll say that to my kids. Like, do it all. Just don't do dope. Don't do coke.
I've battled it because I don't even smoke weed anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I like weed. I like that it's legal. I think it should be legal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a guy who's mentally 100%. I think I've definitely got some, whatever terms you want to use, whatever the internet thinks is cool these days.
Right.
I could be self-diagnosed with them.
Yeah.
The problem I have with drugs is that if your makeup is perfect, if the way your brain is built, your childhood, the way you process emotions and trauma is perfect, drugs seem pretty pure and great. If there is something where the wiring might be skewy in that brain of yours,
Yeah.
why are we putting like beams of light and pressure there? Because if there is mental illness,
Yeah.
like acid, I remember I never took acid, but in high school, I remember acid was a big thing.
Sure.
And I remember there were people who didn't fully come back, where you're like, why do we want to take drugs to like, I'm into hypnotherapy. I really like it. I tried to do talk therapy and it never worked for me.
Okay. Interesting.
Never. I couldn't even get past.
So
step
does
one.
the person actually put you in a hypnotic state?
I lay down. We talk.
Undresses you?
No. She just puts her finger on my butt. But it's to relax me.
Yeah, of course.
I'm very tense.
Yeah.
And then
you carry a lot of tension in your prostate.
Some of the guys she grew up with come in. They're big New Girl fans.
The guys she grew up with.
No, but what the thing is, which I actually really like about it, is you lay there. It feels like a meditation. Like I don't feel like I'm like, you are getting sleepy. None of that.
Okay.
There's no lights. It's dark. I'm listening to her voice, and then it's just trying to tap into your feelings. But because I don't see her, and because I don't have to judge her opinion and literally think what she's thinking, because I won't be able to help. It's why my marriage, when we got married, we just had our immediate family. There was 9 people. I don't want to do a show.
Right.
I want to tell my wife what I think about her. If I have one friend there, I'm doing a show. I can't help it.
Yeah, you got to get that approval.
Yeah, and I also want to make them laugh.
Yeah.
If you came all the way out here, you're spending your Saturday, I'm in show business, man. Tap some fucking coins on my heels and I will dance.
That's right.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, at the expense of my wife's special
whatever
day.
it is.
Yeah.
This is a thing.
Yes.
And I'm like, with therapy, that's what I would do. I would spin the talk so that they would go, great session. And I'd be like, thanks, what a waste.
Yeah.
When my eyes are closed and she's objective and just leading me through, I'm able to actually really
Not
trip
be
out.
codependent.
And also, but like remember like rooms and smells of my childhood and feelings.
Oh, that's cool.
So I wouldn't say, I hope my daughters don't do drugs.
Okay.
But-
I won't give them the talk. I'll
Thank
just
you.
give my daughters the
But I hope they have experiences where they get to trip out. And if they can't find that, and you want to use drugs and you feel pretty solid,
Yeah.
because I do think it's important to explode your brain as much as you can.
Oh, yeah. But so you don't smoke weed.
I don't smoke
then
weed.
you drink just when
I drink
duty calls.
Yeah, I drink at this point probably once every 6 months.
Okay. And what about gambling?
I used to have a gambling thing.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, because your movie, Win It All, but what it captures really brilliantly, and it doesn't matter that it's about gambling, is just the amount of, when you're addicted to stuff, the amount of conversations you have with yourself about, don't do it, I'm not going to do it, I'm fucking do it, no, I'm going to do it, no, I'm going to do it. And then you paint this scenario where like, oh my God, the mental exhaustion of the talking yourself in and out of it.
As you were talking, I realized like, because I really don't drink enough anymore to even have the cool slant like I have a drinking thing. I don't gamble anymore. I would love to still be addicted to gambling. I just don't have time with the kids. If honestly, like, because it was an addiction, I'm not terrible at gambling.
Right.
So I'm not a gambler where I'm like, 50,000 on red. I'm playing poker.
Right.
So if I'm losing, I'm just losing to people who beat me. So then you know what I have to do? I have to find a table with worse players.
Right.
Because I would hit a table where I would lose big and I'd be like, I got sucked out. And then there'd be other days and I'm like, I lost big and congratulations. You two guys are significantly better.
Yes.
So now that I see you in the casino, bye-bye.
You know what my trick was? I was into, when I met Kristen 11 years ago, I was very into Hold'em.
Yeah.
And my trick was I would take Sudoku books with me when I'd play in Vegas so that I was totally entertained not being in a hand.
So you could fold. Smart.
Yeah, so I could fold. And I had a fucking rule. I only play, whatever I would decide that I was going to play anything worse than that. And also while I'm on the Sudoku book, I'm no longer looking at fucking this guy Mike, who I
Yes.
know is fucking
For sure.
bullshitting everyone. Because then I get into sheriff
too.
mode sometimes at tables.
100%.
Like I'm gonna call this motherfucker
Yeah.
out, and it's always the time he does have it.
I'm going to catch you.
I'm gonna catch you. Like, I'm the police all of a sudden, and if I
Yes.
don't distract myself enough,
But here's, I've gone down both roads.
Okay.
So that is the smarter way to conservatively make small money.
right?
Since New Girl started
Mm-hmm.
and I had money coming in for the first time in my life, if I'm going to go to a casino and spend the 10 hours, I don't want to look at the thing on my lap.
Right.
I want to play sheriff. And you might bust me, but I might bust you too, boy.
Yeah.
And that's what started getting me in trouble, where I was like, I know the smarter way to play. I know I could go to a home game and play casually and walk out with $175. It's also 8 hours of my life.
But it's
So-
interesting when you're playing sheriff, you're forced to join somebody
Yes.
who's playing emotionally or just not logically. Like you have to meet them there.
Yes, but then that's where I really got addicted to.
because you
then-
loved that.
Because then I'm now in it with that person. Or if somebody's the abusive drunk at the table.
Yeah.
Well, and nobody's saying, it's not, if they're being mean to the dealer, there's not a room where there you can say like, excuse me, sir, that's inappropriate. But what you can do is call them, bust them, and then before they flip, you go, just push your cards because you got nothing. And then all of a sudden, they don't like you. And when they're abusive to you, you can just nod and go, well, now you know and I know I'm coming after you.
Right.
So now we don't like each other. Then you know that I don't like you. So all these weird vibes.
Oh yeah, you're like yeah.
That all of a sudden started feeling like I would feel like this energy through my bones. Just like everything would be buzzing. And that's the high I got addicted to.
Yeah.
And that for me, it was the same thing going back to the Twitter stuff. Winning didn't feel that good. I used to keep all my money in a little side of my
Separate.
car. So my steering wheel's here. I had a secret compartment. That was my gambling money. So if I was ever near a casino, ding, ding, ding. Who gives a shit? I don't even spend it. It's fake money.
Right.
But when I busted out and I had nothing and my ATM was busted and I had exceeded my limit and it was 2 a.m. and I was sitting in the bike casino alone on a Tuesday, that feeling, that hurt, I realized this is what I like and this is why I'm here.
Oh, that's
I'm here for the
so
weird rush,
weird.
but I'm addicted to losing.
Which is so weird,
Yeah.
isn't it? Did you ever read Dostoevsky's The Gambler?
No.
Oh, you must. It's
Okay.
his shortest book. I think it's
Then-
only 70 pages.
Ooh, okay, great.
And it gets you so deeply
Great.
into the mindset of someone who's just a degenerate fuck up.
love it.
Yes. And the obsession, this crazy fairy tale a lot of gambling addicts buy into, where the ultimate goal is they can quit. They'll quit. But once they get back to dead even, whatever that is, they're all just searching this fake
Yes.
finish line of once I get back to square, then I can quit.
Yes.
But that's
But there's no square.
there is no.
Because I'm excited for you to finish the movie genuinely.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
this talk. But
Yeah.
that was the big kind of theme and the big talk of it is when you're in the throes of an addiction, there's never an out. But it's even
No.
now, my big addictions now will be literally our neighbors dropped over holiday suites.
Hmm.
And my wife was with my kids. They went to the Nutcracker and I didn't go. So they went with like her parents.
I'm
and her
pulling the
sis-
same move next weekend.
By the way.
Well, nothing to do with the
It was the
Nutcracker.
right call. I got to watch Sunday football day by myself in my house. I had a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Worst part was at about 11 a.m., they dropped off these like Rice Krispie popcorn things. And I looked at it. I lived Win It All in like the nerdiest fat boy version. I'm like, sure, I can enjoy a scoop of this. I ate I felt sick. I would be watching TV. I'm like, I legitimately have a stomach ache.
Yeah.
Then my body would rise and I'd be like, why are we going back to the weird mix? Handful.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, that's now it used to be cool in like poker.
Well, there's just a switch you flip in your head where you go, I don't give a fuck. I'm not even going to evaluate how destructive this is.
But I want this enjoyment so badly.
Yeah. I occasionally do that still with pizza's my
Yeah.
thing, where it's like, I will eat whatever gets delivered to the house. Just like when I bought Coke. It's getting snorted tonight. Like,
That's right.
friends
This
of mine
is
who
now
have
the bad night.
stories of going to bed with like still half of an 8-ball. I'm like, what do you mean? That's not how it works. That's not how it's been designed to use.
This is not why we do this substance.
So you got out to LA. You must have thought during the good times of winning the grant and everything that you're going to be a fucking writer. That's going to happen like this. There had to have been a bit of a little bit of humbling.
The humbling was the Chicago era,
Okay.
but the humbling was my end of New York.
All right.
Everything in New York was going really great at first. It was, my plays were getting produced. Things were going really good. I had a play produced by the Ensemble Studio Theater. It was a one act. This is a true story. It was my cousin, who we grew up like a sister. She was, always over, had summers at our house, got into heroin, got living on the streets, everything bad. My sister has always been really straight. Just, when she'd take one hit of weed and be like, yuck. But like it just somehow didn't. But they were always best friends and we always all played. So I wrote a play about two little girls playing, putting masks on. And when they put the masks on, one of them starts talking about this darkness of her future and the other one can't relate. Just to show that like you could look back, we saw it as kids. We'd like talk about it. We'd be like, you could always see in Teresa, like my other cousin Jason died of drugs too. And you'd be like, oh, yeah, you could see in Jason and Teresa.
Yes.
There was something. Chance the Rapper has a song called Same Drugs. And there was a feeling in there that I felt where you're like, oh, we used to do the same thing, but then something in you clicked off.
Yeah.
But so I wrote that play. It got picked up by this theater. I met the director. He was a very New York theater director. He cast the women. I was very excited. I was a very angry guy. I had a lot of opinions. They realized I probably wasn't the best match for the theater process. So they said, you wrote a wonderful play. Just go back, write another one, and come to the opening.
So get out of here.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm not helping. Okay, and they're not asking me to sit in.
Right.
So I went to the night. It was 3 one-acts, and mine was one of them. And I was with Annie, and a bunch of my classmates were there who I didn't know, so I really wanted to impress. Had a big chip on my shoulder, probably was wearing a scarf. It was like, it was at that point. There could have been a hat on.
Yeah, sure.
And it wouldn't have been a baseball hat. The first one goes, and it was pretty good. I was like, that was pretty good. And then mine starts. But they don't introduce them before. And this is no exaggeration. There's music. It's like little kid music. It's like do 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 do. And I thought like heck, cheesy. The lighting is like reds and whites from a circus. And I was like, I'm a very opinionated guy with my work and with art. So right away, and especially now, I'm more like we all try our hardest. But at 22, I was like, if you're bad, I hate you.
Yeah.
So I was like, I hate this one, but I'm not going to say anything because the writer might be next to me. Then the 2 women come out and they're using little kid voices, but they're grown-ups.
Oh, boy.
So they're like, do you want to play?
Oh, boy.
And I turn to Annie and I go, this one sucks. And she gives me that look where you see utter sadness in your partner's eyes, but I didn't get it. And that one was mine.
That was yours.
And I was crying.
Oh,
it was
boy.
Everybody afterwards was like, congratulations. And I was the least gracious. I asked them to take my play out of the festival. I asked them the professor had to give me a talk saying, you will fake gratitude right now and you will thank the actors. And I was like, well, they did a bad job. Why'd they talk like that? Nightmare. So then everything.
So you didn't blame yourself. You blamed them as you should have, it sounded like.
No, I still believe I liked the script. Like, when I read it now, it's not a great play, but it should have been better than that.
Right.
It should have been a B-.
Yeah.
Where you're like, how was it? Well, it was written by a 22-year-old who didn't have the depth of what he was trying to say, but there was something there.
Yeah.
That was a piece of garbage. So no, I blamed them.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to judge if I liked the writing. So then that's when I started going, I will only be in things if I'm in them.
Okay.
So that was the beginning of me and Oliver being in plays that we wrote, doing the Fringe Festival stuff.
Yeah.
But all that bottomed out. So by the time I got to Chicago and I was living with my dad, there was a lack of heat around me. I was 26 and I was dead broke. And my whole character was that I hated my dad.
You're right.
Even then, and then I was so broke, I was doing this project joke that we shot that was crazy. I didn't know how to edit it. I didn't have any money. I had to ask him for money to help me get an Adobe $100 editing software book so I could. And he was like, then he goes, "Where are you going to live?" And I was like, "I don't know." So he was like, "Come on." So that was a period of my life where I had to be like, "Do you want to have dinner with me?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm buying you dinner, asshole." And I'm like, "Thank you so much, my man."
Yeah.
And he gave me
So it's kind of a weird
$800 to come
blessing.
out to LA. Where he's like, so was the period we transitioned where I couldn't
You
have
needed him and he was there for you.
and I couldn't have an attitude because I was nothing.
Yeah.
And by the time I went to LA, I was on step one. So that's when I saw commercials, and my buddy Steve Berg, we did an improv show together, and he's like, Jonathan, how do you make your money? And I was like, I work over at Hollywood Park. And he's like, Jesus, you're far too funny to not be getting paid in the world of entertainment. He's like, I have to walk into my commercial agent. He did. I booked my first spot, got in the union, and you would make like 20 grand.
Yeah.
And it tapped into all the gambling stuff and everything of what I like.
Yeah.
And I thought like, I want more, and I just got hooked.
Right.
And then there was no turning back.
And then you had kind of a little bit of a long spell from arriving in LA, right?
Yeah.
I was in the same boat as you. I was 28 when I got punked. Like I had been at it for a
doing
long
it.
time.
That's right.
I'm not making a living, and
That's right.
yeah. So what felt like overnight on the outside to me,
You're like, I've been grinding.
Yeah, we're in 10 years now. By the time I do that stuff,
Was it punked or was it Idiocracy where you felt like, all right, now I'm in the game? Because there is a moment where you're grinding in, you're fighting in, and then whatever level you're at in it,
yeah.
then you're just in the pool.
Well, and I don't think I actually felt that until about 3 years ago. As stupid as that
Really?
sounds, because I was so singular focused on trying to be somebody. Like, I want to be Adam Sandler. I want to be Will Ferrell. I want to be,
okay.
And when I'm in Without a Paddle, the biggest opportunity of my lifetime, I'm still one of 3 leads.
Right.
I'm like, oh, well, this is a stepping stone to that other thing. Then all that goes away. I'm in movies that make no money, and then I'm back to square one. Then I end up on Parenthood, and then I learned to just enjoy being in an ensemble. Where I finally was like, no, you're good. You're in the
chill
NBA.
out.
You're
That's
in
right.
the
That's
NBA.
exact- You're on the team.
You're not Jordan.
That's
you're never going to be Pittman.
That's right, too.
But fucking A, you're on the team, and I
That's
think
right.
they're going to let you stay in the
That's
NBA.
exactly right.
And you're in the NBA.
Yeah, but I have the same thing, and I'm not Jordan.
Right. I would imagine after Let's Be Cops, your mind must have done that.
Well, I had a different thing because I really love acting, and I know a lot of actors say this, but I really don't like the celebrity of it. In that I'm not a perks guy. I don't go out a lot. I'm not very social. I've been with my wife for 14 years, so I never had the like, you go to a club, you know what? I had my entourage years.
Right.
I never did.
Right.
I never was that. I never sat courtside. I don't go to nice restaurants. I don't like dressing up. I don't like the big award stuff. So all celebrity means to me, the money is very cool. I like having a nice house. I like not being scared about that stuff. I like being able to send checks to people. All that's very cool. The more my face is in things, it's not necessarily the win for me.
Right.
So I had a big turn where I'm like, and it's one of the reasons why I'm also so excited about Spider-Man, not to do a professional transition.
No, yeah.
But I had a moment when Let's Be Cops was coming out. It started testing really high. Then I had all those people in my ear being like, when this hits, and billboards were all over town. And now it wasn't just the New Girl fan base. Now when I'm pulling in, the security guard is going like, yo, I know you. Now I'm getting pulled over by cops and they're doing jokes to arrest me because they know. And it spooked me.
It did.
And it didn't feel validating.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I fucking did it. I felt like deep down, I don't feel comfortable with this.
And do you think maybe part of that is, because I've had a similar reaction to it all, is you have a total lack of control now?
Yes, and I'm a control freak.
Yeah, me too. I remember my first kind of panic attack was doing Idiocracy in Texas, and I went to Fuddruckers, and I'm sitting there, and I'm noticing that about 5 of the 9 tables, the people are staring at me.
Yes.
And I'm like,
I don't like this.
oh, wow, this is forever?
Yes.
And I can't
stop
turn it
you.
off.
That's
I can't unplug.
Yeah.
My only option is to just not go out.
Yeah, which
And-
I'm not going to do because I like to go. I do things.
Yeah.
I'm going to be involved in my kids and my friends' lives and my wife's life.
Right.
I'm not that famous.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I remember calling my girlfriend in the parking lot of Fuddruckers, like in a panic.
Yeah.
She's like, get over it.
Yeah.
Just fucking, that's like an hour of your day. The rest of your day, you're doing what you love. And I'm like, oh, thank you.
But
Yeah.
she's right. But there is also, when you do have that I had it when New Girl first started. My wife and I were at a museum in Chicago, and there were these young women following us around. And because I was with her, and I've been with her since I first moved to LA,
Yeah.
I didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Right.
And I didn't think of myself as that guy from that show that they watch. I thought, why are they following me?
Right.
And what do they want from me? And what's the angle here? My heart was beating fast. And then I like kept looking and they were like young, cute girls. So I'm like, just be a guy so I can just start the fight and you can beat me up and it can be over.
Right,
or whatever
right.
that thing is. I hate this tension.
Yes.
And then finally they started walking over, but I had, the panic was, and then they go, are you that guy? And I thought like, fuck, you ruined an hour and third, just ask. And I realized I can't control it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Now I'm not saying, what a drag we have it. We're both living blessed, easy lives because of it all. But I did realize if I continue to push in the structure of the game, I had a big moment with my agent while I was doing Let's Be Cops. My agents came in town and they said like, great. And I said, we need to have a strategy talk. Because I've been working non-stop. And it's either the TV or a movie. And if I'm not doing those, I'm doing press. Somebody break down the bigger goal.
Right. Where are we headed?
And they said, well, here's where you're headed. You do a movie like this so that it hits so that you can do a movie and you could be your own. You don't even need Damon. I go, well, I like having Damon. Right. And they're like, no, I know, but he can do his own. You can do your own. And I go, but for 8 months of the year, I'm doing the TV show. So you're saying I would do a movie like this so that I can do 6 months of press for this so that I can do a bigger movie that now I'm the only guy in the poster.
Yeah.
So that then I can go back to the TV show so that the next summer I can be in an even bigger movie so I can even do more press. Now we get to talk wonderful things like international press.
Right.
So you can send me all around the world to sell somebody else's vacuum.
Yeah.
With my face on it.
Yeah.
That maybe in a good deal, they'll give me some back end.
Right.
But I'll have to beg for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's not working. This is not for me.
Okay,
and the
great.
thing was, all right, then what's for you? And that then became the discussion of like, well, I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
I'd never thought of that.
Yeah.
And then you go, all right, well, what do you want to do? And at the time, I was like, I want to slow down. And it's like, so pass on a job. And I'm like, well, I'm afraid about money.
Of
It's like, so
course.
chill out. And then you start, I like this project. And then, that's when like Joe Swanberg became a bigger character in my life.
He's the guy who directed.
He
two
did
of the
Drinking
movies you wrote.
Buddies. We did Win It All together. We did Digging for Fire together. Where it
In
became,
Digging for Fire, the premise is in real life, you and your wife were in the backyard of a rental house.
Yeah,
and
we lived in
actually-
Atwater.
Okay.
And we were converting our backyard into a farm. So it was the first time we had space.
Yeah.
So we had said, like, let's get rid of all this soil and spend the time and put good soil in and then plant corn and watermelon and get after it.
Right.
And I was about to do a press tour for a movie called Paper Heart, so I had a 6-week window to do nothing. So I threw Woody Guthrie on, rolled a bunch of joints, mixed in tobacco, got to live the old farming, Great Depression life.
You were living
buddies-
at Steinbeck.
For
even
sure.
though you hadn't read him.
all my buddies would come over. We all had shovels. We dug everything out, and we were going to clear everything, put great soil in. It ended up working, but at one point, as we were digging, I came across a bone. And it was a good-sized bone. Could be a German Shepherd leg, don't know.
A femur or something.
Something real.
Okay.
Kept digging, found more bones. Kept digging, found a license plate. Kept digging, found the insides of what would be a trunk, the bottom of a trunk rolled up. Inside was garbage and some more bones. Kept digging, found a rusted gun. Could have been a toy gun, no doubt about it.
Okay.
Or could have been a tiny little gun. Kept digging, found more.
Quick question. As
Yeah.
you're finding the bones, you're discussing, should we call law enforcement? Is it-
Honestly, it was still, we're having a fun adventure.
Sure.
So marijuana was a big part of those.
Yeah,
So, my neighbors at the time, it was a drug house.
Okay.
So they were watching us. We were watching them. They had been there forever. All good. So finally I go like, all right, I guess we do have to call the police now.
Right.
So I called the police, LAPD, reported what I had. And the woman on the phone was very annoyed. And she said, what would you like me to do? And I go, well, I'd like you to come out here and figure out if there's a body that's been buried in my backyard. And she goes, it's not the LAPD's job to come dig out somebody else's trash. If you find the body, then let us know. And I go, well, I found the bones. And she goes, a lot of people have buried a lot of things. It could be animals. If you find a body, let me know. And I went like, fucking great. And I hung up and we went on a deep search to find the body. And we got about 6 feet in the ground.
Oh my
And
goodness.
there was new water pipes that they had put in. And they were more recent than the things that were buried underneath it, in that somebody put things here on purpose that made it really hard to get underneath. We're like, why is there a new plastic pipe here? And we were like, but I can't get to here. And then there was a zone where there was a carpet that was buried vertically.
Oh my goodness.
And we could get a little bit, there's a photo of it that I've got somewhere that Jeff took a photo of me, or I think my wife took one of Jeff and I, where we're all the way in, chin down is the hole. And we just couldn't, with the new pipes, get any deeper in. And we thought, well, what do we do? Because this could just be trash. A lot of it was trash.
Right.
And in the end, we put dirt back on.
So somebody, whoever
the house is
resides
still
there has yet an unsolved mystery perhaps in their backyard.
What we did is we planted corn there. The corn grew great. We had corn for 2 seasons. And then I put a little plaque. So there's like a little, it doesn't say anything, but it's a nice little artwork thing that we just had in the house that I put in the dirt and made sure the grass grew around so I can always find that same spot. But I still go to Atwater and walk by the house and look in.
Yeah.
So that origin was the origin of that movie.
And just quickly, how did you get New Girl?
Because I did an independent movie with Max Winkler called Ceremony.
Okay.
And Liz was writing a script with Max. They were all there. And Liz was watching early cuts and then brought me in to audition for No Strings Attached with Mr.
Ashton Kutcher.
And
Natalie
Portman, Greta Gerwig, Mindy Kaling. It was really weird for me to be around all those celebrities.
Yeah.
Everybody was really nice to me because I had a character in it, but I was not there in my head. I was like, I'm a commercial actor who does a bit. Why does my character have a name here? I should be like bar patron number 2.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm here, whatever. And Natalie was really sweet. And she's like, oh, I'm doing a party. You want to come? So I went to her house, a beautiful home. And, I'm expecting to party a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let's just get weird. And it was not that kind. It was like more of a dinner party scene. I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. I didn't really want to be there, even though everybody was nice.
Yeah.
She then initiates a game called Apples and Oranges or Apples and Apples.
Apples to apples.
Apples to apples. I don't like those games because,
they're hard to do in a blackout.
Yeah, but as well as it's any of those like mental games like where you can like get caught up. I'm always bad at them. I'm not quick like that. So then the whole bit is just how bad I am at them, which if I'm with certain friends, I love to be the butt of the joke. Let's all have some laughs.
Yeah, but now when you're trying to impress Natalie Portman.
And not knowing how to. And knowing how like she's like very smart and she's very edgy. I was like, I have no through ground for you to think I'm cool. I was never funny around her. She would read the New York Times in the trailer when we're doing hair and makeup. Very new. She's like, how are you? And I'd be like sweating and be like, I'm not going to tell you my funny like talk show story about how I got here and almost got in a car accident.
Yeah.
So I was like, anyhow, so we do the house and she goes, oh, we're going to play, Apples to Apples. Do you want to play? And I was like, actually, I'm such a goober. But I was like, sounds like a lot of fun, but I should go. And she's like, oh, okay. And I was like, goodbye, everybody. And there was only like 6 people there at that time. They're like, oh, bye. I was like, bye. And I exited her back door, but I was in her, she has like a whole gated structure.
Sure.
And I didn't know how to get out.
Oh boy,
but
that's
they were
stressful.
playing in a zone where I had to walk through. So I thought, I'm not going to now, enough time has passed while I walked around the backyard. I considered hopping the fence legitimately too big.
Yeah.
So I then sat in the backyard thinking the move will be when the game ends and everybody leaves, I can sneak out where there's.
Oh my goodness, this is a terrible plan.
Well, I didn't have a plan, so then enough time passed, and then when they played, so that when I finally went like.
They got really caught up in the game.
I sat in the backyard for a while, and then I was trying to do the cool thing, like I'm just out here thinking.
Oh my
And I was hoping they were going to be like, "What are you doing?" And I could be like, "Oh, it's just a beautiful night. All right, no, I just wanted to enjoy the wonderful to see you guys." But I didn't have I was like really trying to like be discovered so that I could leave.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how do I get discovered that I come off as cool? And I was like, if I had a cigarette, I would have loved to have been like, oh, sorry, I was just smoking. But I was like, I don't even have that.
Right.
There's no reason I went this way.
Yeah.
And then,
oh boy.
So then I eventually, it went up. So I just walked through it and they were like, what are you? And I was like, I'm trying to get out of here. The vibe was like, laugh, not a big deal. I walked out and I was like, jumped in my little Ford Focus with tinted windows. Because that's what when I first booked the gig, I tinted my window and got a CD player and pulled my little maroon Ford Focus out of there.
Oh, that's
funny.
That was the worst outcome of all the many options.
It was really.
You delayed long enough that they knew you were fucking around in the backyard.
I
for
know.
some
I
time.
can almost guarantee
Have you run into her again?
Yeah, just hi.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't have like a.
I want you to kind of bring that up with her and just walk her through what you went through.
My sad reality is, I think the level of my importance of that night was that they didn't even discuss it when I left. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Well, I know exactly what you. I was just telling Monica this. I was at Costco about 8 years ago, and like ringing up with talking to the lady, and she goes, I heard you were dead. And I go, you heard I was dead? She goes, yeah, my daughter told me you were dead, that you died. And I go, oh, no, well, I'm alive. She goes, oh, good. And I go, how did she say I died? And she goes, I didn't ask her. And I was like, do you know how not interested you have to be to not ask how
You didn't
someone
even
dies?
care?
Like Octomom. If you told me
Yeah.
Octomom died, I
Oh.
resent her. She's a terrible person. I'd still go, oh, how'd she die?
For sure.
The less interest in me than someone would have in Octomom.
just dead. Fine. Who
Okay,
cares?
great. Glad I
Pass.
don't have to hear about him again.
Exactly.
No follow-up question.
Yeah.
So tell me, so Spider-Man is an animated.
This is
an
a-
animated feature.
It's an animated feature. Phil Lord and Chris Miller are doing
Oh,
it.
they're the best there is.
The movie's really good. I really love this movie.
To bring everyone up to speed, Lord Miller famously did the Lego movie.
They did the Lego movie.
And
They
they
did
also-
Cloudy. They did
Cloudy.
21 Jump Street, which I did with them. I did a scene, and that's when I realized how talented they were, because I was like, what we were shooting was really wild and loose, and I was like, I don't know if they're going to pull this one together. And they're like editing geniuses, guys.
And they also did Will Forte's show Last Man
On Earth. And they are truly outside the box smart thinkers. What is it of all the big themes you wish we all had the discussions about before you start? They really are. And so I got an email from Phil a couple of years ago saying, so I'm writing a new Spider-Man movie, but it's to introduce Miles Morales, who is, I'm not a big comic book guy, but,
Me either.
but Miles is the first Spider person of color.
Oh,
he's,
okay.
He's half Puerto Rican, half black. So
There's a name for that.
Afro-Latino?
No, I mean, no, a funner name. Joy Bryant told it to me. Because there's a lot of half black, half Puerto Ricans in New York.
Yeah.
And there's a fun name. Anyways.
Yeah. But he's the first, this is like his origin story. This is how he becomes Spider-Man. So I'm his Mr. Miyagi. He's the Karate Kid. And then we introduce, because I'm Peter Parker from this dimension, and I get sucked into his. And then all the other Spider people come. So there's the first Spider Girl. It's Spider-Gwen. When I told my daughters I was doing this, and I'll go, I have to go to work. They always ask what I'm doing. And I go, I'm recording Spider-Man. So then we're playing in the house, and they wanted to be Spider-Man Girl. Well, as a white man, I never thought about representation because I always had it.
Sure.
So having daughters, I would be like, no, honey, you can't be Spider-Man Girl because there's not Spider-Man Girl. I was like, but you can be Wonder Woman. And then I was like, fuck it, let's just make up our own. And the whole thing started really pissing me off. And then what I like about the ideas of this movie that they originally did was the idea is anyone can wear the mask. So in this movie, Spider-Man as we know him, as Peter Parker, he's still there, but he's now 40. So it's Peter Parker after he was a superhero.
Oh, it kind of.
And it sucked.
Sure.
Because he lost his wife. And he saved a bunch of people, but no one cares about you after you save them.
Yeah.
And he's going through a pretty dark depression. And he doesn't want to be Spider-Man anymore. He wants to have his life work.
Yeah.
He has to be the mentor to this kid who's becoming Spider-Man, but doesn't know how to.
Right.
But he's got to save the world. And I need him to learn the tools to send me home.
Yeah.
So it's like
and
all
maybe
the-
also hopefully warn him of the pitfalls of being.
Yes. And hey, he reminds me, well, fuck, it's pretty damn cool to have superpowers.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Right. The very last thing I want to ask you, actually, one of the things I was most excited about reading about you today is that so you've been with your current wife,
Yes.
Erin,
Yes.
since 2004.
Yeah.
Isn't it so fantastic that you met her before everything?
For sure.
Isn't that so wonderful to have taken that ride with her? And,
Yes. And it's also, she was with me and we had decided to fall in love and to, make our lives together when I was still at the casino. And so the whole, my career part of it is a scream, but if it fades or when it fades and when I'm off the ride,
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, you already know she was with you
But
before.
we both know I'm probably not going to be invited to this party forever.
Mm-hmm.
So when the day comes where you're like, oh, it's been about 18 months. And I think it's over.
Right.
And we're like, all right, let's cash in our chips. Did we save enough? How'd we do?
Yeah.
But yeah, I find that to be a very nice relief. She had a thing that really put me in perspective when I was doing a UCB show. It was one of my first. It was when that moment starts in your career where things are probably, popping. Right? Probably right before Punked for you, where you're like, all of a sudden from doing like a comedy show, you're like, there's an energy around me that wasn't there a month ago for some reason.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, like all of a sudden agents are like being nice to me.
Yeah.
I did the shows before where they weren't.
Yeah.
And we were doing a live version of E.T. My friend Charlene Yee and I wrote it. And it was a one-night-only show, and Seth Rogen played my older brother.
Okay.
And I am a fan of Seth. I think he's so goddamn talented.
Me too.
And really nice, and has always been really nice. I always wanted to be in all his movies.
Yeah.
I wanted to be in, I was never in his group of friends, but I was like, come on, man, I can't handle the dope, but let me in.
Yeah.
Let me be the cousin of this group.
Yes.
And he was there, and he was being like so nice to me, and he's just nice. And he was being nice to everybody, and my wife was there, and I'd never done it before, but I was like really like I'd been with my wife, for years already, but I was really like showing off that I knew Seth.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
And I was really excited about it. And I really thought she was going to just look at me a little differently.
Yes, of course.
Like, hey,
Just
you
a
always
tiny bit
said
handsomer.
comedy, but now you're delivering it. Because she saw all my bad improv shows. One of our first dates, she saw me at the Improv Olympic, where I probably did one of the worst improv shows in the history. And then we went and got a burrito, and she was like, it was funny. I don't love improv. And I'm like, no one does, especially at the Improv Olympic. But we then get in the car, and she was like, the show was really funny. You were great. Charlene's great. She's like, and getting all the compliments that you feel good. And you're like, yeah, it was fun. It all worked out. Whatever. It was fun. And then I go, pretty cool about Seth. He's a cool guy, huh? And I couldn't believe we hadn't let out with it. I was like, there's a fucking elephant in the room. Let's just talk about it.
Yeah.
Seth could make a call.
Right.
I could be a movie star if he wants me to be.
Yeah.
And I was like, and he was being nice to me and was talking about how funny the scenes were. And she goes, yeah. And she goes, who? And I go, Seth Rogen. And she goes, which one is Seth Rogen? I go, the fucking guy we were talking to.
The
He's in
craziest
every movie. All the movies that I'm watching, he's the star of and is probably wrote. And she goes, oh yeah. She goes, I think I have seen that guy. And then she goes, he was pretty funny in it. And I had this moment of, she's not in the game.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
Which is good.
Which was really great because I
Yeah.
got to breathe it out and go, I'm giving Seth Rogen too much importance.
Yes,
he was
yes.
really nice. He's not going to make a call, make me a movie star. He was
Yes.
being really sweet. He's always been nice. Move on. But if
Yeah.
she would have been excited about that too, I would have buzzed about that. We would have had a Seth Rogen talk, not been able to sleep. And as soon as we got home, the talk was honestly, she was like, you were funny. And then we got to be like, yeah, it was fun. All right, let's do dinner now. It's kind
Yeah.
of over. And that's been a really, whatever I do, when I come home, she's not impressed by this, but she's not impressed,
Right.
but she's not like a movie goer.
Yes.
So
I think that's very healthy. I have
Yeah.
a different version of it, which is if I have a crazy day or I have a crazy opportunity or I've been on a press tour that's been kicking my ass, my wife's like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I do the exact same thing.
Right,
You know?
totally.
Yeah, are you tired? Yeah, they suck. That's
yeah,
right.
they're very tiring.
Yeah, that's right. And whatever. I do it too. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh yeah.
totally.
Well, I feel like my
Interesting.
ex-girlfriend, who was also with for a very long time, that was part of the problem is I would complain about that. And then, she would either indulge it
Right.
or be resentful because why aren't I grateful for this thing? The whole thing, it was a bad, dynamic
Interesting.
for me that I didn't handle well.
So as soon as I was doing Safety Not Guaranteed, and Aaron was visiting me, we were in the hotel, deadline announced, new girl got picked up for 13. And as unromantically as it is, I leaned over and I'm like, so should we get married now? I was like, could we just join accounts?
Yeah.
13 will give us enough. I can help my mom out. We can figure out student loans. We can be done.
Yeah.
But 13 will get us out.
Right.
And it's not going to make sense for me to write you a check and you to have your checking account. And then she was like, yeah, that makes sense. And we were both like, all right. So if it's 13 and if it's good, we could get 22. And if we get multiple seasons, now we can build, we can buy somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's now time to just you know.
Well, that's great. So you were immediately
It was, and
very-
then we did like the fake romantic one where I got on my knee. But even then, she was like, "Who is this for?" And I'm like, "It's just this is for the story." Our non-romantic one was like laying in bed, being like, "Wanna?" She's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Okay." And then
you
watched
listen to
TV.
Stern.
Yeah,
Oh my God, you did that Ronnie, the limo driver's proposal to his fiance. Did you hear
I
that?
haven't heard that.
Oh my God. He does it over the phone, Monica. Before he went to work, he hid the ring in like a box in the closet. And he calls her from work and he's like, "Yeah, go into the closet. Move the box. Now open it up. Open it. No, not that. Open the other box." She opens the box. "Oh my God, there's a ring in there." "Yeah, there's a ring in there."
You want to put it on your finger?
Yeah, he's like, "So what are you doing it or not?"
He's the
It
worst.
was the
He's the
worst.
worst.
I love him.
Yeah.
I fucking
I love
love
the
him.
show.
Yeah, it's so great. Well, Jake, I really adore you, and again, I loved your movie that I watched today, Win It All, and then I'm really excited to see Spider-Man because I love Lord and Miller, and I like you, so there's really no reason that this shouldn't be fantastic.
Thanks, man. I really hope people check it out. It's awesome.
Yeah, should we go home and see our girls now?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for coming, Jake.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And now my favorite part of the show, the fact check with my soulmate, Monica Padman.
Flaky Jake Johnson.
Don't call him flaky.
No, that was one of my favorite restaurants in Phoenix, Arizona when I was a kid. Flaky Jake's, it was basically the first Fuddruckers. It had a huge bar of condiments you could put on, two large bars. It was right across the street from ASU, and when we'd visit my stepdad out there because he worked there in the winters, we ate several meals a week at Flaky Jake's.
Flaky Jakeys.
Yeah, Flaky Jakey's. So that's positive.
What was their signature? Burgers?
Burgers.
Hot dogs? Okay.
Burgers. They probably made a chicken sandwich. It was Fuddruckers.
I want a chicken sandwich right
Oh,
now.
me too. Rectangle one or Houston's?
Ooh, I want rectangle. I want Houston's. I want Chick-fil-A, but I'm not going to have it.
Okay, right.
Although some people are saying that I can have it again.
No, I think I heard recently that the CEO doubled down on his
Kristen
anti-gayness.
said that, but since then I've heard that,
He's retracted.
yeah, there's a new Chick-fil-A in Burbank. So, and it is getting a lot of attention, lots of long lines. And I'm like, all these
lot of
people
fanfare.
are allowed, but not me?
Yeah, you should do some research.
I'm gonna
Because if they won't hire gay people, you just can't eat there.
I don't know. I can't eat there if they
No,
do that. So
right.
maybe the listeners can tell me because I don't have time to do research, really.
Your research
busy
is
doing facts.
relegated to this show.
Yeah. All right, Jake.
Flaky Jake Johnson.
So, you know what? I'll be honest. There are no facts in this
Oh my God, that's exciting.
There
Our
are
first
no
no fact
facts.
episode.
at all. Oh, except we talk at some point. Oh, Jake talks about Spider-Man and the character being half Puerto Rican, half black, and you said, "Oh, there's a name for that."
Yeah.
And on Urban Dictionary, it's called Afro-Recon. Afro-Recon.
Afro-Recon. That's not the one I was thinking
I
of.
knew it probably wasn't the one you were thinking of, but that's what I found. Yeah.
Okay, Afro-Recon.
Yeah.
By the way, that movie Spider-Verse was fantastic.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to get this out earlier to help promote it.
so
check it out
sorry.
on VOD.
Flaky. I'm sorry.
No, it's flaky.
Would it be Afro-Rican?
Afro-Rican? Was that it? Is that what you just said?
Yeah. But it was pronounced.
Oh, how did
Recon.
you pronounce it? Recon. Oh, Afro-Rican. I like that. Sounds.
But is that what you were
That's
thinking?
not what I was thinking of,
Okay.
but it makes a little more sense though.
Okay. Oh, the story you told about you being a little boy in the sailor outfit and you couldn't go to Easter?
Yeah.
That's a sad story.
Well, I don't know if I told this part of it when we were interviewing Jakey. My father did tell me later that he was, because my mom, when we got portraits in those matching sailor outfits from Kmart's, and he found them in the garage years later, and he had a good 2-hour cry about
He
it.
did.
Yeah.
That's sad. Ooh, what happened?
Rob's
Something
getting
got
funky.
Rob?
Rob's doing. He's like
What
a
are you
DJ.
doing?
He's,
He,
he's
like-
doing real-time mixing.
I had to turn it down for
30,
Justin.
He gets crazy.
He's like a werewolf. We are dealing with some kind of freaky moon right now. Super moon.
Mercury.
No, moon. I think my mom she was explaining it to the girls. It was like super moon or ghost moon. Or something like
There's
that.
something about Mercury rising.
Rising.
Yeah. I don't think it's, I think it's bad. I think it makes
Oh,
people...
it sounds sexy.
It does, but I think it makes people emotional.
Horny?
No,
Oh.
angry.
Ooh. Mercurial?
Mercurial rising.
Yeah, mercurial rising.
Anywho, so I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay.
It made me sad to hear that story.
Well, it's okay. I don't know that I remember being disappointed. I think it was more on my mom's end.
Yeah, that'd be hard for a mom.
Yeah.
She probably had plans to go out, and she couldn't go out.
Well,
so you had to stay there, and your chicken pox.
That too could be it. No, but if I sensed that the girls wanted to see Kristen really bad, and then Kristen didn't because of her boyfriend's kids, I would probably have a hard time getting over that.
Pissed.
Yeah. Someone would pay the bill.
Do you have any chicken pox scars?
Not that I'm aware of.
Really?
Maybe on my lower butt cheeks or some area that I can't see very well, or my low back. There's a whole bunch of there's half of my body I can't see.
Isn't that crazy? Like, I don't even know what that looks like.
Me either. I have.
I don't want to think too hard.
Yeah,
about
I don't have the best,
What?
suspicions about how it all looks in back.
I think
Sometimes, occasionally in the gymnasium, when I'm exercising in a tank top, I'll catch a little bit of my back, upper back.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's going on in my butthole, my butt cheeks, my upper thighs, my inner lower thighs. No
It's
clue.
a mystery.
It is a mystery that only Kristen really knows, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, I have a chicken pox scar under my eye. See?
You do?
Yeah.
That's what that is? That's a
You've been wondering.
chick pox scar?
Yeah.
Did you have them bad? Or you
I
not
think
remember?
I did have them bad, but I don't really remember. I was like 5 or 6, but
Isn't it amazing there's a vaccine now and that kids don't get
it.
chicken pox? How great is that?
I know. It's great, and I'm sad for them. Like,
It's not a character builder. It's just
think it is.
miserable there's no upside of it.
I know, but it's like cool. It's like, when did you get chicken? Like, it's just a rite of passage, like your period.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Oh, Mike's got chicken pox.
Ooh,
so many
sexy.
pox. I heard he's got terrible chicken pox.
Oh.
Yeah, everywhere.
The worst
Head
kind.
to toe.
He took an oatmeal bath last night, I heard.
Oh,
I heard. I don't know if it's true. But...
I'd love to bathe him in that oatmeal bath.
Yeah, so I have one under my eye. And everyone, when I get my makeup done, they always think it's mascara, and they're always trying to rub it off.
Is it black?
No, but it's just a little darker than my skin, which
Okay.
is black.
Well, hold on now.
So I guess it is black.
You have the most enviable skin tone of anyone on planet Earth. Let's just
Thank
start
you.
there.
Thank you. I really want steak.
You do
just
from
thought of that.
all time?
Yeah, I do.
I want that steak too.
Anyway, sometimes I want things and I have to say it.
Yeah, you got to say it out
'Cause I
loud. You got to put it
need
into
it.
the universe. The secret.
I know. I believe in the secret.
You do. You had a vision board.
Yeah, I thought about that today. I thought about that vision board today.
You did. Mm-hmm. Monica had a callback audition.
Mike Schur
Mm-hmm.
and Morgan
Number one.
were there,
Mm-hmm.
and I left, and I was really thinking about that vision board and what was on there, and Parks is on there, and
It
The
is.
Office, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
It's so wonderful.
Yeah. It's very full circle.
Life can
But
be
Mike
very
and Morgan
good.
sat in the back in the corners. Mm-hmm. They, when I came in, they were like, "Hey," and we talked for a second, but they were like, "We were told to sit back here," and I didn't really think about that. But then 10 minutes ago, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I wonder if my mom told them to sit back there. And Mom,
Embarrassing. Moms are so embarrassing.
Moms are so embarrassing. I know they're trying to help their kids, but like,
I 100% believe that's what happened.
I do too.
Yeah.
I was like, who told them that? Someone from like the studio, like, oh, she knows you, so sit back there. I was like, no one knows that except my mom.
Except for your mother.
Yeah. Anywho,
Your Caucasoid mother.
yeah, my real mom would never do that.
She won it.
No, she would never like make a call and be like, for her emotional stability, can you please sit in the back?
She wouldn't meddle.
She wouldn't meddle, and she wouldn't think about that. Like, she would just be like, okay, you're nervous, and you're just going to be nervous. Yeah, that's fine.
I think that's the way.
Like, I was maybe going to take one of those beta blockers.
Oh, uh-huh.
And for
Too risky, though.
a couple
You got to
of things.
experiment with
Yes.
it first.
It was too high pressure situation. Plus, I was like, okay, well, I don't know what these things are going to do to me long term.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to put this in my body. And then I was like, also, nerves is normal.
You know, unrelated to that, but kind of related because your mother, my mom and I were watching Bill Maher and Rahm Emanuel was on.
I saw.
You saw it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he was talking about his parents are immigrants.
Yes.
And those three fucking boys are number one agent in the world, one of the best politicians in the world, and the best doctor in the world.
I know. We were just talking about him, too. And then he appeared.
He appeared because of the vision board.
Yeah.
But my mom and I both, like almost at the exact same time, my mom goes, "This is Monica."
Oh.
She's like, "This is why we need immigrants, because we turn all of us into lazy pieces of shit. Like the most you're going to get
not true.
is
Your
like
mom made you.
3 generations of hungry, and then it just goes to shit. We need a constant stream in this country of fucking hungry and thirsty."
Yeah, I agree.
It's really, I hadn't really thought about it in that way, which is just like, yeah, if those people don't come here with that crazy hunger, who the fuck is the best doctor in the world? Yeah.
Yeah, who's going to raise the bar? Yeah, I mean, I like that theory and that, but I
like your kids
there
will be
are
fucking
plenty
lazy as shit. You're so motivated and hardworking, and your kids will be lazy shitheads.
I won't let them. I'll spank them.
They're going to be useless. They're going to live off the fat of your land.
PHAT, fat natchy.
They're going to live off the. Well, they literally will live off of your fat natchies for the first couple of years.
They will. Oh my God! Speaking of Rahm Emanuel, when I watched that, I meant to tell you, I think he is also one of your soulmates. Why? Because he has a
missing finger.
Yeah. He has like a missing
that he owns the shit out of. He points with that fucked up half a finger more than any of his other fingers, and I'm like, that's what you do.
Yeah, I was gonna make a joke and text it to you that you guys are soulmates because his finger looks like your toe.
Oh yes, my new toe.
Your new toe. They match.
My toe transplant.
But also, the reason his finger is like this is because he cut it really badly working at Arby's.
No.
Yes. And then it got infected because he went into some water with it or something. But
and remember when Jason Leno was here, and I said, when he told us about Arby's and why it was successful, is they had never been able to cut the roast beef so thin.
Right.
And I said, I used to stare at that fucking slicer with just abject horror when Papa Bob and I were ordering those beef and cheddars, extra cheddar. And I realize I was right to be fearful.
You were right.
It took out Rahm's finger.
It did.
But man, he must have cut some portion off, and then they decided to go to the next knuckle.
No, what happened is that he got a bad cut from it. He didn't get it cut off. He got like a really bad cut, and then it got infected later.
Infection.
It got a beef infection.
Uh-huh.
It got mad cow.
Oh, that makes
Oprah
sense.
was right.
She was
so anyway, so then he was in a pool. He was I don't know, at the beach or something. He was swimming, and then it got infected, and then they had to amputate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they had to go much deeper to get out that necrotic flesh, the poison.
The poison, yeah.
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 Ooh.
Anyway,
boy, I love how much he owns it, though.
Yeah.
He is not. He puts that. I bet if he ever was mad enough to poke you in the chest, he'd use that.
Oh, I hope. And I bet he gets mad enough.
Makes me think of my teacher, Mrs. House, who I've talked on here before about it. The one teacher I almost got transferred out of her class. Okay. She had a nub.
Oh.
And she always pointed at the chalkboard with her nub, and she'd bang on the chalkboard with the nub. It was so aggressive.
And did you guys make fun of her?
Nope. I mean, not for those reasons.
Not for the nub?
She was probably a lot of students' favorite teacher. Okay. I can't say objectively she was mean, but boy, she and I were oil and water. I can say that with confidence.
I just.
Now you're rooting for her because she has a fucking half finger.
Well, I'm rooting for her.
That doesn't get you out of everything. Just because someone's got a half finger.
That's not why. I just generally, I side with, like, I think you were probably a brat.
Oh, well, what a great opinion you have of me.
Well, as a kid, I think kids are.
Haven't you spoken to my mother? I was the sweetest boy.
I think you made fun of her finger.
I don't think I did. I don't think so.
Okay.
That's too pedestrian for me. A good comedian can't go with the
But
obvious.
at that age, I mean,
was
you're
honing
still
my
figuring
shit.
out your comedy.
Well, maybe
You
you're
probably
right.
pushed it to
Hadn't
the
found-
finger area, and then you brought it back.
I hadn't
Thank
found my
God.
voice.
That's right.
Do you think there's anyone that's been with Rahm Emanuel or Mrs. House and felt kinky about them touching
Ooh,
their
I
privates
hope so.
with that?
This is going to
Unique.
sound horrible, but I think probably a girl would be more excited about that than a guy.
Yeah.
Like, what's the girl going to do with her nub to the guy? That's so
Massage
exciting.
your perineum.
I know that's just going to feel like another finger.
Yeah. As would clitoral stimulation with a nub, probably. But just mentally knowing that there's something real kinky and new going on down there.
It probably is a little different feeling.
Yeah, not as
than a
pointy.
finger, yeah.
Anyways, it's food for thought, you know?
Okay, so... Oh, okay, I just have a question for you. I'm just curious. When you tell people you were in the groundlings,
Yeah.
and they don't know, like he did. He was like, oh, I didn't know you... Do you feel pride to tell them, or do you feel bummed that they don't know? Or both? Or do you not
Yeah,
care?
both because I'm my first stop's in security. So if this person's surprised I was in the groundlings, and I think, oh, they don't think I'm really a comedian, that I was just an actor, and then I
Right.
ended up in some funny things. But I want them to know, no, for 5 years I
Yeah.
worked tirelessly at comedy.
Yeah.
But they're probably not thinking
No.
I wasn't a real comedian because I hadn't been a groundling or a Second City or UCB.
No, they're
or
not
stand
thinking
up.
that.
Right. But yeah, sure.
And then you
All
get
those
excited
things.
to tell them that you
That I'm
were-
the real
that
deal.
you're the real deal.
The real deal,
You know,
Holyfield.
it's so silly, right? Because
There are funnier people.
Mm-hmm.
There are people, although a good percentage of the funniest people ever to live were groundlings. I mean, Will Ferrell is as funny as a
Vince
human
Vaughn
can be.
isn't. He's none of the
He's not.
schools.
You're right. You're right. When you're right, you're right.
So I'm right. Okay, well, you said Octomom is a terrible person.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that?
Yeah, I do.
You do.
I do. I think she had kids to get attention, which is a foul reason to have
Even though
kids.
we don't know her. And maybe
Well, I've
that's
heard
a
her.
big-
I've heard her interviewed several times. She
Yeah.
used to be on Stern a lot,
Mm.
and I would say she's not a good person. Yeah,
Mm.
I'll stand by that claim. I don't talk shit too frequently on here about anybody, but I would say, yeah, Octomom's not a great.
Because of that.
I wouldn't want my children to turn out like Octomom. How about that? Or like this asshole, like some of these people, right? That this guy, he faked that his kid had blown away in a bouncy house. Do you know this?
No.
And the whole thing was a whole prank so that they could get a reality show. So someone that does that, I think, is a piece of shit.
I know, but it's so much more complicated than that, right? Because we don't know them. I just am trying to not do that based on not knowing a person at all.
I agree. I think that's a good thing to aspire to. And I'm sure that if I met this turkey who set this thing up, there'd be something sad about his background that would lead him to that. But when you cross the bridge that you're using a child
Yeah, it's
to
horrible.
perpetuate your own weird fame desire,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to weigh in on that and say that's a deal breaker for me.
I know, I agree, but we also don't know the dynamics of that family. Like, what if that kid is obsessed with reality shows and all he can talk about is like wanting to be that and wanting to be on it, and then the dad
All
is
the
trying.
more reason to.
I know, but some people aren't evolved enough to differentiate. Like, that's actually bad, or that means this, or that could lead to this. They're just saying, like, this person likes that? Sure, let's try.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, I made all this up, but I'm just saying
Right.
it could be.
It could be.
So, yeah.
That's what Kristen would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, apparently you. I thought we were cynics together, but
I'm halfway.
yeah.
That's kind of it, I think. There were no facts, which was a shock and a disappointment.
I'm sorry.
I just like facts.
Yeah, I know. You're like a fact file.
A fact dict.
Like a pedophile.
Yeah. I was trying to do fact and addict.
Oh, a factic?
That's what I said. Didn't work.
All right. Well, I love you, and you look so cute in your suit today. Monica represented the Armchair Expert team today at the podcast upfronts because I was shooting, and you made a speech in a suit.
I did.
And I'm really proud of you.
In a Clueless suit. It looks like I walked straight off the set of Clueless.
Yeah, it is kind of
And
whatever
I
her
like
name
it.
was.
Cher.
Cher.
I always wanted to be Cher.
Well, guess what? You are
Today
Cher.
I'm Cher.
Congratulations.
Yay.
All right. Love you.
Love you.